you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers' Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
ESPN LA and BBGO are going on a quest for the Lakers GOAT. No, not the GOAT. The GOAT. The greatest Lakers fan of all time. Think it's you? Upload your pic or video to Facebook, Instagram, X, or TikTok, and tell us your favorite Lakers memory. Use hashtag LakersGoat, GFOAT, and hashtag promotion, and follow at ESPN Los Angeles. The Lakers GOAT is going to be rewarded with courtside seats, a VIP private tour of the Lakers UCLA Health Training Center, a year's supply of BBGO, and more. The Lakers GOAT. Is it you?
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then, you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah.
You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse.
Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger.
Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back of Dayton.
You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to mount you.
Beep, ba-da-bop. Doom, ba-da-bop. Doom, ba-da-bop. Doom, ba-da-bop.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
I texted you.
I was busy doing a podcast.
Well, you weren't busy getting some food. I was on the way to get food, and I was willing to pick up some food for you.
All I've had is a breakfast sandwich from Starbucks this morning and a coffee. That's all I've eaten today. Although I ate a lot while I was on the road the last few days. Like, I went to the single best restaurant I've been to this entire basketball season.
Where was this at?
Or football season.
Tell me where.
Denver, Colorado.
Okay, Denver.
It's a steakhouse called Guard and Grace.
Guard and Grace. Unbelievable. Never been. Keep going.
It's out of control.
Out of control.
So good.
Really?
And it's like one of those places like a vibe.
Ooh, vibe.
There's like music, there's like, EDM music playing, house music in the background.
For you, right.
It was so good.
Did you
No,
dance?
but the food was, no, it was no dancing.
Wow,
but the
right.
food was
Get up on the
delicious.
table. Really?
Delicious.
What'd you have?
Some steak.
Yeah,
It's
and?
a steakhouse. We had like a little sushi appetizer. We
Oh,
had some
nice.
gyoza. It was really good.
Some what?
Gyoza.
Gyoza?
Yeah, with like a little A5 Wagyu in there.
Okay, I don't know what gyoza is.
Gyoza is like the little like dumpling.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Yeah.
A gyoza?
Yeah.
Yo, let me get a couple of gyozas over here, please. Yo, you got some gyozas
So if you
for
ever
me?
find yourself in Colorado, Guard and Grace. Tell them Sedano sent you.
Okay.
No, don't, because they don't know the hell I am.
They don't know, huh?
Yeah.
They don't know.
But
I'm having a terrible day of eating. Just an absolutely horrendous day of eating.
I've been, since I've returned from the road for 4 days, where I eat like a pig and drink like a fish.
Yeah.
I have like basically gone like mostly fasting.
I'm having a bad day today, and I'll tell you why. So I got done with F45 this morning because it's the way I work out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a little bit of a flex, I know, for a lot of people. But for me,
Right.
it's just a normal workout, So I got done with F45 this morning. In normal circumstances, I go home, I make up my protein shake. And you know what goes in my protein shake, right?
Yeah.
You got a little protein powder.
What about that? You still taking that athletic green stuff?
You take protein powder,
Yeah.
athletic greens, all your vitamins,
Makes you poop
minerals.
really well, right?
Just comes right out of you, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Some
it's like
creatine?
Oh, some creatine.
Yeah.
Got to have some creatine.
Some amino acids?
Some blueberries for a little antioxidant.
Yeah.
Little almond milk. And then a little peanut butter for some
You
texture
should go a
and
little
flavor.
coconut milk.
Coconut milk sounds good too.
Yeah.
I have no problem with coconut milk. I don't have a problem with that. So I usually make my protein smoothie after I get done because I know I've told everybody that I used to go for this place, protein smoothies every day, $12 a day. 5 days a week, $60 a day,
Yeah,
$60 a week in protein
It's
smoothies.
a lot. Yeah.
Not having it.
Yeah.
Not having it. So I make the better protein smoothie at home and I make more of it for myself. Okay, fine. My kids this morning, unbeknownst to me while I was at F45, went to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
For breakfast.
Wow. By the way, I had a great smoothie yesterday. I took Mateo.
Yeah.
There's a place in Torrance called Rock and Joy Juice.
Oh, Rock and Joy Juice.
You've never been there?
Never been. No.
It's delicious. And the guy is a 710 listener.
Well, isn't everybody?
Yeah.
So my daughter went to Chick-fil-A this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and she brought me back a Chick-fil-A breakfast burrito. Yeah. That's a hard thing to not eat when somebody's brought it home for you.
They're pretty good, though.
They're fire AF.
They're pretty good.
Because they're not gigantic, like where you're like, ugh, I don't want to eat that whole thing.
Right, but they're small enough where you're enticed.
Not only enticed, it's got eggs, I think cheese, the chicken, like the fried chicken, like chopped up, and then they throw in some tater tots just on top of it.
By the way, I wanted some fried chicken so bad on Sunday, and Chick-fil-A wasn't open. You know what I did? Bleep you, Chick-fil-A.
What'd you do, go to Cane's?
Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Come on, dog.
Hey now. So I'm having a bad day of eating because I had that breakfast burrito this morning, and then I was starving this afternoon, and I was like, I can't go to the taco truck out here because that's instant diarrhea. So what I did, what? That's just the way it goes. I mean, I got a weak stomach. What can I tell you? IBS.
It's delicious, though.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not delicious.
I
It
mean,
is
that's
delicious.
you're implying,
No, I'm saying no. The problem is I'll have like 12 of them.
It's your bowels.
It's my problem.
Okay,
yeah, it's a
yes.
me problem.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome. And then I went to Jersey Mike's, and I got a number 7.
Did you scoop the bread?
No, I didn't scoop it because I only got a regular.
Oh.
See,
You
when
get
I
a
get
giant?
and when I get the giant,
Yeah, but
then
why would you
scoop
eat
the
a
bread.
giant?
Well, that's why I decided.
Yeah, but you should scoop the bread at a regular. They'll do that too.
I didn't scoop. No scoop. And I just had a
I
regular.
always have them scoop the bread.
I had a regular 7.
I always throw. I like to do Mike's chicken Philly,
Ooh, so
throw in
good.
some avocado, extra chicken,
Ooh.
and then some mustard.
Oh, wow. It's a $30 sandwich.
It's like 20. Yeah.
Now, you
What
say...
do you say? Do you say, like, can you please scoop the bread?
Yeah, you
that's
put it
what
in
you
the
do.
little. And you can also put it in the.
Yeah, they'll scoop. They don't care.
If you order it on the app, you can. They have like a little thing where it's like added notes or whatever.
Yeah, they scoop for you. But it's interesting you say that, the guy from the smoothie place is a 710 listener.
Yeah, Rock and Joy Juice.
So
in Torrance.
Lindsay and I were walking. We walked to Jersey Mike's. We decided to take a little walk together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Lindsay and I are walking, and as we're making our way back, we get onto Figueroa. We're like Figueroa and 8th, downtown LA. And this gentleman is walking at us, and we're walking at him, and he goes like this. He goes, "Yo, Cap. And I'm like, who's this guy? Like, what's he want from me?
Yeah.
Turns out, what does he want from me? His name is Brandon. He works at an accounting firm right here in downtown LA.
Nice.
And had to stop me to tell me how much of a 710 fan he is, how much of a Sedano and Cap fan he is.
Nice.
And when I said to him, I go, well, this is Lindsay Baseball. The guy lost it. Oh, my God. Lindsay Baseball. Let's have a catch right here on the streets.
Right.
The guy was just so ecstatic because he's such a huge 710 listener. So shout out to Brandon and shout out to everybody in Los Angeles because everybody's listening, as we know.
Yeah. By the way, Dead Meow actually with a funny contribution to the Sedano and Cap Circle of Trust. Says, yo, Scott Kaplan, put this shirt in the Cappy Cast merch shop. And it's a shirt it's a tweet that he quote tweeted. And it says, call me Cinnabron the way I'm glazing LeBron James.
Oh, damn. Hey, listen, if that LeBron James Cinnabon shirt
by
is
the way,
available, I'm getting it for you.
If LeBron James was available yesterday, they ain't losing to no Brooklyn Nets. That's for sure.
Goodness.
Nope.
I mean, that's a low point this season. I mean, Austin Reeves was not good. Luka was fine, I guess, but
He's
not
okay.
not great.
Not great.
And you let the Brooklyn Nets beat you. That's a bad loss, especially considering like what they've got coming up. They have 3 sets of back-to-backs. They have 6 games in 8 freaking days, Cappy.
I know, and they're against tough opponents. But the worst part about last night is you mentioned that they lose a game to a bad team, a team that is they're not interested in this season.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times during the broadcast where Billy McDonald on Spectrum was saying, this team lost by 50 points.
Yeah.
This team lost 126-72. I mean, he was making the point. And the worst part of it all is, besides not just LeBron being out and Jackson Hayes being out.
How about you tell us what the worst part is on the other side? Write it down.
Hold on, because now I just forgot what the worst part was. Okay, I got it.
All right, write it down.
All right, got it. Hold on.
All right, but first, let me tell you about our friend Jacob and Ronnie. All right, listen, you get into an accident, it's very simple. You call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. You're not going to hire your cousin's neighbor who just passed the bar last month, right? You want a pro. Come on. Someone who's been in the game for decades, who knows exactly how to fight for you. You got to call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. I mean, what are you waiting? What are you waiting for?
Come on over here. Why? Come on.
What are we doing over
here? What am I going to hire the kid next door who just got done with law school? Come on.
What are we doing? 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Hell, tell him Cappy sent you too, for that matter. Jacob's been handling the car accidents, man, since the 90s. And not just cars. We're talking about trucks, motorcycles, scooters, ride shares. You name it. Jacob's seen it all, man. And here's the difference. Jacob and his team, they're not here to take some lowball offer from the insurance company. The fight to get you what you deserve. Plus, and this is huge, with Jacob, you never pay a dime out of your pocket. You get your cars fixed, right? Make sure the medical specialist, you see the right one. You focus on getting better. And if you'd rather sit face-to-face, no problem. Jacob and his team will come to you. You can swing by his office, whatever. So if you're injured in an accident, don't leave it up to chance. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Visit him online at calljacob.com. Jacob's got your back. By the way, if you or someone you know also has lost property, suffered injuries because of the wildfires, Jacob already fighting for you. Lawsuits are filed against those responsible. Jacob and his team are offering free case evaluations and insurance claim reviews to help you figure out what your next steps are. So call Jacob today, 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB, because no one should go through this alone. And together, we are LA Strong.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes.
LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News & World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
The official partner of Palm Tree Crew at the Waste Management Open is now bringing fans to the biggest rivalry in golf, the Ryder Cup. USA versus Europe. Fired up crowds, unmatched intensity. This isn't just golf, it's a battle for supremacy. With Absolute Sport, you'll get premium access, luxury accommodations, and the ultimate fan experience. Don't just watch history, be a part of it. Visit us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport, and make your dream trip a reality.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Sedano and Cap on 710.
Yeah.
Sedano and Cap continues.
Really?
Right now.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Now look what's going on in this studio, George.
Jamie Foxx and T-Pain?
No. Bigger.
Brian Windhorst is here.
Correct.
Look at that. LeBron is in the corner.
King is in the house.
With his T-shirt of the greatest fan of all time contest, the Gafote.
Mm-hmm. There he is. So Wendy's in the house.
Yeah.
You know, Wendy, these guys today, they
Trying to get in between you and Wendy?
I know, they try and put a wedge between us. I try and explain to Ramona, I try and explain to Sedano, you can't hurt this relationship right
Come
here.
on.
It's a special relationship. It's a special bond.
Rust Belt.
This is Rust Belt.
There it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Yinzer got the DNA. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yin's got that DNA deep inside of there now. You know what I mean?
I got you.
All right.
We're going to talk about going downtown.
Gonna go down over to the pantry and that, but the pantry's closed. So, dude, I go over to the pantry today.
Did you go there?
No. so Wendy goes like this. Wendy goes, you had 75 years to go to the freaking pantry.
You did.
What happened to the pantry?
I don't know, man. I read the stories. There may have been some union trouble. Apparently, the owner passed away a year ago, and it went all downhill from there. You know, like I had several Christmas dinners at the pantry. I think I told you. You know, back before LA Live, I'm getting long in the tooth, George. Back before LA Live, when it was called Staples Center. You remember those days?
Old school.
There wasn't a bunch of restaurants around here. And they used to drag us out here every Christmas Day. You know, so back before LeBron got the rule put in.
The Palms was the only thing that it kind of existed back in the day.
Yeah, but it wasn't open on Christmas.
No, I know.
So Christmas Day, multiple times, because they would always bring the Heat or the Cavs out here to play the Lakers, to play Kobe. And LeBron got tired of it, and he had the rule. He goes, hey, if you win the championship, you got to let us stay home for Christmas.
Yeah.
So Adam Silver said, okay. Then LeBron lost the next 2 years.
All right, that's a good question, though. For all of your years of travel, this goes to you as well, George, and I spent my 20 years on the road. Of all of your years of travel, think of the holiday and the worst you've ever had to go.
This is easy.
Okay, go ahead.
My worst Christmas experience was in Cleveland.
Not a surprise.
Shocker.
2008 Heat Cavs. The game was horrible, and I couldn't get out that night because it was like one of the later games, and I was just stuck in a hotel eating terrible Chinese food in a hotel in Cleveland.
All right, I'm going to say I'm going to one-up you, I think, here. It's 1999. You talk about getting old, and being long in the tooth. Georgia is hosting Georgia Tech in college football between the hedges. And
in Athens or in Atlanta?
In Athens.
Oh.
And I am by myself, and I have Thanksgiving dinner in the Waffle House.
Oh.
The Waffle House.
You could have done worse. I mean,
Waffle House pretty damn good.
Okay,
though.
let me hear, Wendy, because you mentioned the pantry for Christmas. What do you got?
Well, I'm an Ohio State fan.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, New Year's Eve, I was in Hawaii. They were playing Georgia in I can't remember the Sugar Bowl. And my flight back to the mainland got delayed. Long story short, we're literally going down the runway as Ohio State is lining up for the field goal. Lining up for the field goal. And everybody knew they were going to beat TCU. Lining up for the field goal to win the game.
Right.
And the national championship.
Yeah.
Plane takes off literally as they're lining up for it. It's actually, and if you remember, it was actually New Year's.
Yeah.
So I am taking off in a plane at New Year's.
Assuming
on the East
Ohio
Coast.
State is going to the national championship.
Well, I don't know.
Oh.
And so and the Wi-Fi, it wasn't working. It took an hour and a half.
Right.
To get the answer. So for an hour and a half, it was like it was 1987 again.
Yeah,
I thought about asking the flight attendant to ask the pilot who won the game. So, that was, I was in Hawaii. I mean, It was at the end of a vacation.
Yeah.
Right. So it's interesting that Wendy's here because, Wendy, when Luka first got traded to the Lakers, I remember one of the things you said on TV was, I'm going to give the Lakers the year. I'm going to give them kind of a break. But then all of a sudden they went on this crazy run, and the whole world all of a sudden thinks the Lakers are serious championship contenders. Yeah. And then last night happens, and I grant you there's no LeBron, there's no Jackson Hayes, there's no Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, they got a lot of guys out and hurt. But to have, and this is what I was going to tell you before the break, George, the worst part of last night's loss for me is you have a 15-point lead in the first quarter, and you give that up before halftime. So do you put a lot of value into last night's loss when you have so many guys out and you got a cross-country trip? What do you think?
My outlook on the Lakers is, short-term good, medium-term great. And I don't change that after last night. Also, my commentary on the Lakers for the next couple of weeks is just chill. They're going to take some losses, probably. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they play great here. Maybe they have the 5 and 7 games. All of them are here. So maybe they have some. But even if LeBron was healthy, he was not going to play in all those games. It's a back-to-back. Unheard of in the NBA.
It's a back-to-back.
6 games, 8 days.
2 games, day off, 2 games, day off, 2 games.
Wow.
Ridiculous. They would never schedule that. It's a result of the makeup game. So last night was extremely disappointing because they're playing one of the worst teams in the league, and you want to get that game. I understand you have 3 starters out, and that's why JJ was so upset. I think JJ was so upset for 2 reasons. One, he felt they let their guard down and they got sloppy, and I think he might even blame himself a little bit for that because, when you win 20 out of 25 games, you can let some bad habits fester a little bit. He didn't get them to be focused, and he challenged them, but also I'm sure he's challenging himself. So they kicked that game coming into this situation, and that's going to be frustrating. And when you get to the end and there's maybe a game difference between being the 5 seed or the 3, you hope that doesn't come down to it. But I would just say to Laker fans, just take it easy. They're going to have some losses coming up. As long as you're in the top 6, you're okay. The difference between being, the 5 seed and the 3 seed is not that much. Honestly, if the Lakers don't play Denver in the first round, it'll be okay. Don't worry. You could even argue that being in the 4-5 and potentially playing Houston and then getting Oklahoma City in the second round is a better path. So Luka's got to play better, no doubt. Austin Reeves has got to shoot the ball better, no doubt. They've got to have more focus and attention to detail. They don't have margin for error. But just keep your emotions over this next 10 days.
Yeah, look, you have to take a measured approach. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon, right? And we're in kind of the stage of the season where, they've built a little cushion. So to me, it's all matchup dependent on them. Like you want to avoid Denver if you can in the first round. You want to avoid OKC. Hell, I would probably even want to avoid Golden State in the first round. If you can somehow find yourself aligning with Memphis or Houston or even the Clippers or someone like that, I like their chances to move on. And then beyond that, see who's left.
I agree. I think Oklahoma City is going to be the favorite to win the West, of course. They have some challenges. They're maybe some vulnerable in certain ways. They're going to play tomorrow in Boston, and Jalen Williams, their second leading scorer, is not going to play in that game. He got hurt last night, and it's going to be interesting to see Boston attack Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, maybe try to force him into some things. The Lakers, I feel okay about their chances against anybody 2 through 9. I say okay, like I don't feel like they can't beat any of them or they're in trouble. Like Denver would be a challenge, but any of those guys 2 through 9, Oklahoma City, I'm going to favor over everybody. Anybody else 2 through 9, health, high level performance by star players, any of those teams could beat anybody else.
Could you make the case, Wendy, that LeBron getting hurt, and I know when I say this is going to sound counterintuitive.
How about this?
Yeah.
Can we break real quick and you can ask him on the other side?
Sure.
Because you're gonna have to talk about one of your friends.
I am?
Yeah, we should go to break on time, Cappy.
Well,
I know this is a
beyond
novel
on time.
concept.
This is actually early. This is nice.
Well, we have reads to do, though.
Oh, okay.
That's
let's
why.
read. You
I
want to
tell people first that we're a proud partner of CHLA, Children's Hospital Los Angeles, for their annual Make March Matter campaign. We're auctioning off exclusive items. Like Cappy and I had dinner with you and me.
Here, listen to this. Right now, the current bid on the dinner with you and me
So
at Fleming's, no, $500. It's good, but it's not like that thing should be like $5,000.
I would agree, or at least more than 500.
Significantly more.
Okay. So anyway,
you guys are going to spend 500.
That's the
easily.
point. That's the whole deal.
Easily.
Right.
And then there's a wine tasting with me and Beto at San Antonio Winery. You got to get in on that too. And then there's like a studio tour, TV, radio with me if you want to bid on that. I'm sure your kids would love something like that. So go to the website, 710-4FORCHLA.com, 710-FORCHLA.com. All right, so do that, and now you tell them before we get back to Wendy about your friends.
Yes, we're going to spend more time with Wendy. In fact, while Wendy's here, I'm going to even throw an offer to him, which is if you want to stop talking basketball for a couple of minutes and talk a little football free agency, you are welcome to join into that conversation as an by the way. But in the interim, let me throw this at you. If you want to sell your home, you need to call Seller's Advantage. Everybody has their own reasons for selling, right? Sometimes your mom and dad left you a place. You don't want to play landlord. You don't want to pay property taxes. You don't want to live in it. You want to get rid of it. Maybe that's a reason. For some people like myself, your kids are all out of the house. They've all gone off to college, and you don't need that big house anymore. Or you know what? Maybe sometimes you're just like, time for a little bit of a change. Whatever your reason is for selling, Seller's Advantage has a custom solution that'll fit your needs. Here's how it goes. They come in, they look around, and then they're going to make you a competitive cash offer, meaning you don't have to make any repairs. You don't have to paint the walls. You don't have to have the carpet steam cleaned. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is say, yes, that sounds like a good offer. I'll take it. And then here's the other thing. No complicated closing processes, no contracts falling through. They pay cash, and they make it happen fast. Call Seller's Advantage today, 888-390-AS-IS, because that's the way they're going to buy your house, as is. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or visit them online at sellersadvantage.com.
Sunday in Las Vegas, it was an offensive onslaught for the LA Kings. 6 goals at T-Mobile Arena, and they hung on to beat the Golden Knights by a final score of 6-5.
And a scrum for it, off the draw, pulled back behind the goal line. Kings fighting for it, centering pass, up top, a shot deflects toward the goal, poke free, 1 second left, Kings win!
Tonight, the Kings return home to begin a 3-game homestand, taking the ice tonight against the New York Islanders. Don't miss a second of the action. Listen live at 7:30 Pacific on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun and excitement? You got to check out Chumba Casino. It's 100% free to play. No purchase required. Enjoy hundreds of thrilling social casino games anytime, anywhere, like bingo, slingo, slots, and solitaire. Get in the action. Play now for a chance to redeem some serious prizes at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey guys, you feel it? Days are getting longer, sun is getting warmer. Looks like our SoCal summer is right around the corner. Here in California, we are all about choosing chill. From hitting the beach to the best hiking trails to going all out to support our teams. One thing really all ties it together, and that's enjoying it all with good friends and a cold Coors Light. Pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
The CONCACAF Nations League finals arrive at SoFi Stadium March 20th to 23rd. USA versus Panama, followed by Canada versus Mexico. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster. For more information, visit CONCACAFNationsLeague.com/tickets.
Hey everybody, it's Cap. ESPN LA is proud to partner with Children's Hospital Los Angeles for the 10th annual Make March Matter campaign, helping kids get the breakthrough care they need. CHLA gives families hope with leading-edge research and treatments. ESPN LA is auctioning off exclusive 710 experiences like a dinner with me and Sedano at Fleming's Steakhouse. Every dollar raised goes to CHLA. Visit 710forchla.com to bid and make a difference. That's 710forchla.com.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Linz.
Thanks, Sedano. All right, guys. So what you need to know is that West Virginia coach Rich Rodriguez.
Rich Rod.
He,
Football coach, huh?
he has a reputation for being kind of old school. And you know what he's decided to do to his players? He's banning them from dancing on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He said they're allowed to use TikTok because he knows like they're going to use it anyway. But he said, I'm banning them from dancing on it. It's like, look, we try to have a hard edge or whatever, and you're in there in your tights dancing on TikTok ain't quite the image of our program that I want.
What about dancing on IG?
Oh, that's a good question.
Good question. Different
Great question.
platform, Coach?
Yeah.
Coach, do you mind if we dance
Also,
on
let's talk
Twitter?
about the tights. Where they're all wearing tights. What's the story there?
Well, I guess they've got like a couple of NIL players that are big on TikTok, and that's what like these kids do these days. They dance on
Right,
TikTok.
that's a terrible move for him, is what I would say, Rich.
That's
Rod.
what
There's
I
a reason.
said.
There's a reason you haven't been coaching a Power 4 team in a while, despite you having a lot of success.
He's going to lose recruits. He's going to lose players.
Yeah,
Coach, I can't make the NIL money at West Virginia that I can make across the town, or across the state.
In Pittsburgh.
I can go over to Pittsburgh. They'll allow me to twerk.
Pat Narduzzi will let me do it.
They allow me to twerk all day long on TikTok, Coach. What the hell is this?
Yeah. EJ Borghetti's going to put a release about my twerking out there at Pitt.
I'll tell you, it's funny. I saw a woman recently who was a flight attendant on. I
I saw that. So I sent the story.
Oh, you did?
In the chat.
Well, that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
So George sent an article in the chat where this woman was a flight attendant for maybe Alaska Airlines.
It was Alaska, yeah.
And she's getting ready to go on her flight.
By the way, nobody's on the flight.
The plane is completely empty, and she's doing whatever prep work she needs to do as a flight attendant.
So she's done.
She's in the back, and she's dancing like, hey, I'm really excited. I'm jamming. I'm on TikTok. Let's
They
fly.
fired her.
They fired this woman for dancing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Probably the best thing that ever happened to her. She'll probably get another job instantaneously, and she's well known.
Right. I guess
it's
that's
like when
fair.
Myles Garrett said, I don't want to be here. And he got $40 million.
It's so funny you say that because Myles Garrett, a couple of weeks ago, this is about a week. No, it may have been for the Dallas game. It may have been for when the Dallas came to play the Lakers. He was in the 710 suite. And a buddy of mine said to me, you got to say hello to him because he's a sweetheart of a guy. So I walk up, I start chatting with him.
Big NBA fan.
Yeah, and so I start chatting with him and his agent. We have a nice conversation. And, we talked ever so briefly about football, which was just want to play for a winner. I want to go out there and I want to play for something that matters. And then Myles Garrett, the story was so weird, the owner won't even talk to him. You would think that an owner would actually say, yeah, you're an important part of our team. Come, let's visit and let me see if I can convince you that we're actually going to, really compete eventually. And all it really took was a big fat check to have Myles Garrett go, I'm good. I like Cleveland. It's good here. I like 3-14.
As a guy that I really respect in the NBA, George knows who it is, but I'm not going to say his name. It's not about the money. It's about the money. Quick story. When Myles Garrett was about to get drafted, they used to bring the top draft picks to Bristol. Maybe they still do. They would bring the top draft picks to Bristol the week of the draft. Yeah. And Myles Garrett's in the green room. And I'm sitting with him, and I know he's going to get drafted by Cleveland. He's a big NBA fan. So he's talking NBA, we're talking about, what side, like, hey, listen, you got to live on this side of Cleveland, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about the Browns. There's another guy, one of the other draft picks in the room. He's sitting across, and I'm totally I'm ignoring him.
Right.
I'm just I'm focused on Myles Garrett. I'm almost turning. Yeah. I'm almost turning, like genuinely rude. I'm going to give this guy my shoulder. Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes. I'm I don't even we could be a second-round pick. I'm talking to the number one pick here.
I don't know who you are, little cutie with the hair.
Where'd you go to Texas?
Yeah, right.
One of the Texas
never
schools?
heard of you. Never saw
Texas
you play.
State?
Never heard of you. And I have nothing to tell you about Kansas City. They don't have an NBA team. I got nothing for you.
We didn't even know he was going to Kansas City back
That
then.
was like a week before the draft.
That is very funny.
That is hilarious. All right, so that is what you need to know, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, just to 90 minutes from wherever you are. All right, you were going to ask Wing D a question. Go ahead.
What was that question I was going to ask him? Tell me what it was. What was it?
We were talking about the Lakers, bro.
Oh, the Lakers.
Yeah.
What was it?
LeBron.
What about LeBron?
Luka.
Oh, okay, good.
Blessing in disguise.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Could you make a case in your own mind, Wendy, that LeBron being hurt and taking time off right now and having Luka be sort of pushed into being the number one option? You don't have the security blanket of LeBron. Could you make a case that this could be a good thing for the Lakers over the course of however long LeBron's injury is going to be?
Yes, because first off, if you're going to have a groin injury, you want it to happen a month before the playoffs, not 2 weeks before the playoffs. So, who knows whether the recent uptick in activity, it's not so much the minutes with LeBron. He was expending a lot of energy. And I'm not a doctor, but I have seen in the past where players uptick their energy load and it results in a tweak. So, yeah, assuming this isn't a super serious injury, and the Lakers must not think it is, because otherwise they would have rushed him into the MRI machine, apparently, which hasn't happened yet, or at least it hadn't as of yesterday. Yes, it does disrupt things. You're not choosing it, but giving him a full recovery time, and also Luka was getting going. I know he played poorly last night, but nature is healing. Luka is complaining about the referees again. He's getting back to the guy he is, and he was very deferential when he came here. I don't think he was like making a conscious decision. I'm going to come in here and stand back. I just think it was natural that it happened, and I'm seeing more evidence. The 2 or 3 games before the LeBron injury, the way he was playing, and certainly the way he played last night's game, it was not a good performance. I agree, but the way he played in that game was reminiscent of Mavericks Luka. So, again, if they take some losses in this next week, just chill. Watch Luka try to get his legs underneath him and see if he can really get going during the stretch.
Let me ask you a question about J.J. Redick. I mean, I think he's done a phenomenal job. I think most of us felt like, he would be prepared, right? It's just a matter of how he would handle things on the fly, right? And I think for the most part, he's done a really good job at that too. But now, we're getting towards the end of the regular season. He's going to have to navigate all this stuff and injuries, but every coach has to deal with that. And then playoff time, I feel like will be the next real moment where we will kind of grade him, for lack of a better phrase. How fair or unfair do you think some of that is, considering kind of how difficult the West is?
Yeah, I also don't think he's got a balanced roster. So, again, I mean, I reserve the right to look at individual moments,
right.
But I'm chill on the Lakers' expectations this year, and I'm chill on JJ. They don't have a balanced roster. He's going to go into a playoff series. He's not going to have a full tool belt of things he can do. He's going to have to play a certain way. They just don't have the size to do it.
They're basically playing the way that LeBron played when Chris Bosh was his center.
That's exactly. I mean, they're not playing exactly the
similar,
same, but basically the way that Heat team played was pouring out the energy on defense, and they really leaned on Bosh's athleticism to help and recover. And they smothered teams with creating turnovers, and it was coined by one of the media members, the flying death machine, where the Heat would get on these. Eric Spoelstra used to call them the skirmishes. They would create these turnovers in bunches, but they played heavy energy defense, and that is the way JJ is asking his team to play. It is working. They're listening to him, but I'm not sure he has another choice. He can't play straight up defense because he's not. We saw what happened in the Celtics game. The Celtics slowed the pace of the game down. They played Al Horford. They leaned with Al Horford and they used it. I mean, LeBron was playing defensive center. There was possessions where Luka was playing defensive center in that game. Obviously, you get Jackson Hayes and Rui Hachimura back. You're giving yourself a better hand. But seriously, JJ doesn't have a balanced roster. They know that. We know they know it because they traded for Mark Williams. You don't have to.
Who's, by the way, playing pretty well.
Yes, and so is Jackson Hayes.
Yeah.
Jackson Hayes is doing really good. In fact, maybe the way that Jackson Hayes is playing convinces you that Luka and LeBron can elevate a guy, and you don't have to go out and get an expensive center. That you can maybe focus on getting a more economical center, not just with money, but in terms of what it costs to trade for them. But he doesn't even have Jackson right now. He doesn't have Rui. So. Right. Getting into the postseason, I know that when you have a 40-year-old star, you're like, oh my gosh, you got to win it this year. I do not see it that way. I think what the Lakers achieved this season is gravy. They are set up for the next couple of years. They have their assets. They have their opportunity to improve the team in the offseason. They're going to be able to draw players who want to play for under market value. Let them do that. Next year, when they build out the roster more, then we can talk about expectation. Then we can talk about JJ in his second season, second playoffs. I'm going to be okay with whatever he does this year.
Going back to that Boston game on Saturday night, you had said on television, Windy, that, hey, look, on a Saturday night, you're a busy guy. You got a lot going on. You got an active social life, but you were willing to make arrangements just to watch that game. So did you lock in on Saturday night?
Of course.
You did.
I was very excited to watch that game. A friend of mine in Omaha, where I live, is a huge Celtics fan, and he was looking forward to it for days on end. You saw what the ratings were today.
I did not. What were they?
No, it was the highest. Don't quote me. Highest game in 7 years, non-Christmas, something like that. It was 5 million viewers.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
For a regular season ABC game, that's good. Good number.
And I wish the Lakers could have had the fuller hand in that one. And let's just say LeBron goes out of the game when he had the groin pull. I think it was a 6.7 point game. Let's say LeBron goes out for his typical 2 or 3 minutes of rest. If LeBron comes back into that game as a 4-minute game or a 4-point game, man, I don't know. I mean, he could have brought him home. So it was a bummer the way it turned because Luka got hot in the end and gave them a chance. Boston's really good. It takes a high bar to beat them. I really enjoyed it. I was looking forward to that game for a while. I'm looking forward to this game coming up at the end of the week in Denver. It's a tough situation because it's a back-to-back. They don't have LeBron. But let's just see how that game goes. Let's just see what they've got. Let's see who's healthy for that game. I look forward to stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. I mean, Rui's been out now. It's been probably like a week and a half-ish. LeBron gets hurt. Guys kind of come in and out of the lineup with little things. But the guy who I'm most disappointed about, and I say disappointed meaning just that he got hurt, is Jackson Hayes. Because the way that young man has elevated his game. And I got it. A lot of it's just athletic dunks and, people are lobbing balls and he's putting them down. But he is, in my opinion, he has really elevated to where he is an important part of this team now. And without him, I mean, you saw last night, like, had they had him last night, that could have been a difference in this game.
Yeah, they're like, look, Jackson, put yourself in the dunker spot to catch lobs, be ready for lobs, and play help defense to protect the rim. They basically given him, like, just made it real basic for him, and he's getting it done. They can improve there. He can still be a rotation member of a contending team. But he's done okay. And it just is an example. One of the things that LeBron and Luka are both known for is elevating their teammates. This is a classic example of the way that Jackson plays. They play to his strengths. They put him in a position to be successful, and LeBron and Luka elevate him. Again, I am bullish on the Lakers this year and highly bullish on the Lakers going into next season when they can work on the roster a little bit.
How much longer do you think LeBron will play?
He's going year to year right now, obviously. I think he has been. But I don't know how you can watch him play right now and say that he is near the end. I know he keeps saying it. Yeah. It's like, well, I don't have there's more. I don't have that much time left. I know 2 years ago he, he kind of left the season with a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But look at the way he's playing. I mean,
yeah.
How do you look? I mean, he knows how he's playing. He knows how he's feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's thinking about number 5. He's thinking about ring number 5. Like that's what he's thinking about, and you can tell by the way he's playing.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, he's been playing defense at a level that I haven't seen him play in the regular season in a long time.
Right. Like I've said this before. They didn't just trade for Luka. They traded for Luka, and they traded for a fully engaged LeBron. Not to say that he wasn't, but now he is pouring it out, and it may have contributed to him. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. It may have contributed to him tweaking the groin, but so let him rest, let him recover. He knows what he's doing. And, we'll see what happens in the postseason.
Dr. Windy.
Yeah, sounds good. But I always liked the preface of I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But given my experience, this is what I think.
I'm going to ask you this because we've done 14 minutes of Lakers talk. I want to ask you a Clippers question.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard played over 40 minutes the other night.
Yeah.
Hit the game winner, only the second in his career. Ty Lue is an incredible coach, especially in the postseason. What do you see from that team?
I see James Harden looking great. The game that he played when they came off the 2 losses to the Clippers.
To the Lakers, you mean?
To the Lakers, correct.
Just want to make sure because I can get very confused very easily.
Yes.
He had
very easily.
Where he had the 50-point game, like vintage Harden. He looked great. They've really suffered since Norman Powell's had the injuries. Kawhi doesn't. He's not himself. When you talk to scouts, they just say, he doesn't get the separation anymore.
Right.
He's not the same as he was defensively. He's probably not, he's not the same level. Will he get there before it's the end of the season? He might. He's not the same player. So, and he's not the same player he was last year.
You think it's all injury or you think it's all missed time?
You know what? I don't even trust my eye on it. I'm just telling you what the scouts say. The scouts say that, he can't get the separation like he used to. But that said, he's obviously still an incredibly valuable player. He's just not to this point. And I mean, again, you don't want to, you get in trouble in the NBA when you make assumptions.
That Reacher says that assumptions kill in an investigation. Did you know that?
You ever watch Reacher on Amazon Prime?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it, but
it's an important line.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's true.
I would, I don't want to make an assumption on March 11th about what's going to look like on April 11th, but he does not quite the same player. Having said that, I think James Harden is one of the stories of the year. He has come out looking like, with this transaction, looking great. The Clippers and the contract they signed him to looking great. They are a great success story. They hit this rough patch where they go on this trip and they have to come play the Lakers flying high. They take some losses. If Norm Powell comes back and is able to stay healthy, it's a different story. But the reason that they're struggling right now and they need so much from Harden is because they really relied so much on what Norm Powell was giving them. So, to me, great season for Norm Powell, great season for Zubac, great season for Harden, and it's a really good success story. And they need more help on the roster.
Are we kind of almost? And I get it. He's had the shortcomings in the postseason, but I feel like we're almost like too hard on Harden in retrospect. Guy plays every game. You know what I mean? Like in an era where we've been lamenting, including his teammate, right? Particularly guys not playing. That guy's out there every single night.
Right. So on the one hand, you look at it. He probably had a team that could have won the championship, but they ran into Durant, Curry's Warriors.
And they missed 27 straight threes.
Right. Well, they had the Chris Paul hamstring. They're up 3-2.
Right.
They might – this is a side note that I always have about the Durant thing. Durant wins the 2 finals. People imply that was just a foregone conclusion. You go look at the league. You look at how good the Spurs were. You look at how good the Rockets were. The 2017 Cavs team – was arguably the best team LeBron was on in Cleveland, better than the team that won the championship. But, I'm supposed to believe that Durant was in the back of the bus. But that's another topic for another day. Harden had bad luck with that. He was absolutely unbelievable for those 3 or 4 years. But then he makes, 3 different trade demands. And when you make 3 different trade demands and then though you get what you want and your team underachieves, it underachieved in Brooklyn, it underachieved in Philly. You can assign blame elsewhere. It underachieved. Your Q rating, your reputation is just going to take a hit.
Right.
And the thing about it is that he's lost a ton of money doing it. He took a pay cut in Philly to help the team. Philly didn't give him the contract he wanted. He comes here. He comes a free agent. The market isn't great. He has to take another pay cut. I'm not laying awake tonight worrying about James Harden's bank account. But right. he has done some things that that would actually sort of team first, but he hasn't gotten credit for it because he's made 3 trade demands.
You mentioned Kevin Durant. I mean, basically Philly and Phoenix are the 2 most disappointing teams in the sport, I think. And you and I talked about this off air, but I'd love to get your thoughts a little bit for the audience to hear about Durant. Like it seems a fait accompli. We all know he's probably not going to be there next season. What would it take to get Kevin Durant, to your knowledge?
Yeah, great question. So at the trade deadline, obviously they were making him available, and they had talks with several teams about him. How serious the talks were, you're going to need truth serum for that. They definitely talked to Golden State. They definitely talked to Miami, and they definitely talked to Minnesota. Did they talk to other teams as well? Probably. But I know that they talked to those 3 teams, and to the point where they swapped concepts like, The word offer is complicated in the NBA. Yeah. People get their backs up about offer. They talked about what a trade would look like with those 3 teams. Okay. Yeah. So, and you say, well, why did they do that? They did it because next year, first off, you look at this year's team, they're 30-35. Unacceptable. They have the number 1 payroll in the league. They're in the second apron. You cannot be in the second apron and not be competitive. It is not acceptable. You just can't. So they're in a situation where they have 3 star players. One of them they are not trading. He's in his 20s. He's committed to the organization. That's Devin Booker. One of them they cannot trade. Bradley Beal has a no-trade clause. His agent has said on the record to whoever will listen he is not waiving it. Whether or not that's true, it doesn't matter. You have to operate that you can't trade him. And one of them is Kevin Durant. You're not allowed, when you're in the second apron, to put 2 or 3 players together to trade. You're not allowed to take back a sign and trade. You're not allowed to do a trade where you take back more money than you send out, which means the teams aren't going to want to send you talent. They have no draft picks to trade. I mean, they broke the 1 pick they had into 2, so they have a couple of sort of quote-unquote bad firsts. You don't need a high-level analyst to come in and say what they have to do is trade Kevin Durant. And that's why they were trying to trade him. It's not controversial. He knows it. The rest of the league knows it. So they can't go into next year as a second-apron team where their top 3 players make $150 million combined, which is number 1 amongst all trios in the league, and say that status quo is going to work. They've got to break it up. So the answer is it comes to Durant. The question is this. There's the big thing that no one's talking about. Is Durant viewed as an expiring contract, or is Durant viewed as someone you're trading for, giving multiple years to, and saying, I'm going to go forward with him until his 40th birthday, or 38th birthday at least?
The numbers say the latter.
Right, because his stats are all, like, for a team that's as bad as they are and as much money as he's making, you look at the numbers, his scoring, his rebounds, his assists. Like I looked at him the other day and was like, wow, he's actually having like a really good statistical season.
Right.
But even though I perceive him and them to be a disaster.
But
the whole is less than the sum of its parts. I botched that on TV today, but that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think that he is at much, even like LeBron at times over the last couple of years, is showing at times his age. You know what I mean? Like in certain aspects of his game. He's still one of the greatest scorers to ever play. He can still pretty much score from anywhere on the floor. Not pretty much. He can score from anywhere on the floor right now. It's just he's 37. So getting past guys when they're 23 is not as easy when he's 37. You know what I mean? Like the guy's defending him. So I just think that, and by the way, defenses are way more complex in the NBA than they've ever been. So I think that, and I would even add this caveat. There are the three main guys like to operate in the same spaces offensively, which I don't think helps him either, and helps them as a team. So I think that there's a lot of things to parse. I think it has to be the right situation. I think those three situations you mentioned would be benefit. He would be a benefit to them to take whatever the next step is.
Yeah. So the question is, if he's gonna require a contract extension, which is reasonable. And that's why he's said on the record, you want to end the career on your own terms. That's him talking in code of, if we're going to do a trade, I'm going to control where I'm going to go. Because what upset him was that all of a sudden he found out they were talking to Golden State about him. And he didn't even know. And he's like, wait a minute. At this point, I need to know. That's probably the way the Suns will operate it, but they don't have to. And if a team is just looking to move off of money, they could rent Kevin Durant for a year. And again, not that I think that's the way it's going to go, but that could be the way it could go. And so that's a big factor. The other thing is whether or not Phoenix is going to try to recoup draft assets. They traded 7 years of draft control, 4 firsts and 3 swaps to get Kevin Durant. If they're looking to get back a bunch of stuff like picks and swaps, that's not necessarily going to yield them the players that are going to improve their team. So they're going to have to decide. I don't think that they're going to be able to get a comparable package as they traded for him when they trade him away. So that's going to be the other thing. Are they going to prioritize getting players that can help them now, that can help Booker and Beal now? Or are they going to prioritize getting draft picks back that they can use to reformat their team in the medium term? And that's going to also factor into how they do a deal.
I can't imagine that anybody is going to give Phoenix a whole bunch of draft capital for Kevin Durant. Yes, I'm saying, George, that I've seen all the numbers. I think he's averaging 26 points per game. You know, I mean, so his scoring is still there, but his team stinks. And guys, you guys are in the league. I'm an outsider looking in. I perceive Kevin Durant to be a giant pain in the ass. Do you guys think other people do as well?
I don't think he's a pain. I think there's times when he can be, he can be a bit to deal with because that's a star player in the NBA, unless you're Steph Curry. But
right.
I would take him on my team.
So I thought Bob Myers nailed this on television one day when I was watching them talk about this.
Tell me, what did he say?
Bob obviously was the general manager in Golden State, and they were making the argument. Kendrick Perkins, our guy, Perk, was saying that he's not a leader, right? But that he believes he has it in him because when Russell Westbrook went down, when they were in Oklahoma City and Kevin Durant won the MVP, he saw him lead vocally and by example. So he's got it in him, and that's why he's disappointed that he doesn't have that. And you can't have a team in Phoenix who doesn't have a leader because Booker's not vocal enough, and Beal is certainly not a leader, and Kevin doesn't want to do it. And, Myers actually came on television and said, look, maybe that's true, maybe that's not. He's like, look, the guy was on my team. He's like, but I would take the guy who has won 2 finals MVPs. And if that's not his strong suit, I'll figure out the rest of that stuff around him in the leadership and whatever other aspects you need to compensate.
I agree. Also, Kevin Durant has never said, I'm going to come in here and be the leader.
Correct. Never.
It's one thing to say a guy doesn't have good leadership qualities if he's trying to be the leader. Durant has actively looked to pair up with stronger personalities. He actively looked to pair with Kyrie. He actively looked to pair with Devin Booker. He went to go play with the Warriors that were in place. He's not out there. You want to criticize him for that. That's fine. I don't think that's something he's looking to be the guy to do.
Interesting. I mean, I would think that a guy of his stature and a guy of his career and a guy of his number of years in championships would kind of almost be automatically a leader. I mean, especially on a team like Phoenix right now. I mean, don't you think? I mean, just compared to the other 2 guys and the other 2 personalities that you're talking about, he naturally has to be the quarterback, doesn't he?
Not necessarily. I think that's a nebulous thing. I think if they got more stops and they were a little bit more cohesive and Bradley Beal played like a $50 million player, it would be a different conversation altogether.
All right, last one for you, and thanks for all the time spending with us here. All right, Celtics, Cavs. We need this one for Lindsay. How do you view? I view it. You and I talked about this today on our call for TV. I think it could be compelling. Like, I think it's real, but I likened it to, and I've said this on the air, and Lindsay didn't like this. I likened it to like the Paul George Pacers trying to get past LeBron and Wade and Bosh in the early teens, and they were right there, but they just could never get over the hump. And I feel like Boston is just, even if they're not healthy with Porzingis, like I still feel like they're just better. And that's just kind of where I land on it. But how do you view the Eastern Conference kind of shaking out?
The Celtics are the favorite, but their margin is not wide. The Cavs have closed the gap throughout the season, and they're going to have home court advantage. And the thing about the Celtics is they give away games in the playoffs they should win. They didn't do it as much last year, and that's why they won. But we've seen them give away games that they should win this year, including against Cleveland. And so last year, if they gave away a game during a series, it was no big deal. They were so good, they didn't go more than 6 with anybody.
And everybody they faced was banged up too.
Correct.
The Celtics.
It was all gravy for them. That will not be the case against Cleveland, assuming Cleveland's healthy. If they screw up, Cleveland will beat them. And Cleveland, with the home court, with Donovan Mitchell, who has dominated the Celtics, they may beat them straight out anyway. But I would favor the Celtics. They're a beast to handle. They're a completely modern team. They're totally designed to execute in the current modern environment. Everybody who steps on the floor can defend. Everybody who steps on the floor can hit a three. You can't attack them. They have multiple different guys who can be the ball handler. They have multiple different guys that can be their leading scorer. They can hit 25 threes without batting an eye. They can have a bad quarter and recover because of that three-point shooting. They're just a very hard team to beat 4 out of 7. I believe the Cavs can do it, but I believe they are underdogs. Maybe it's 43% underdogs. Maybe it's 49% underdogs. But last year they were never in that series when they played. I mean, it went to 6. It went to 5 or 6, but it went to 5.
Yeah, they had like one Max Strus game or whatever.
Yeah, but Donovan was hurt and Jared Allen was hurt.
Yeah.
So, but I would see that as potentially going 7.
Yeah, real quick. I know you're going to go, but we saw the Knicks here last week, and it was a good game until Jalen Brunson went out of that game.
Yeah.
And I stopped paying attention to the Knicks as soon as they left. What's the story on his injury? Is he coming back, or how bad is it?
They didn't say it was a grade 2 ankle sprain, but I can just tell you it's basically a grade 2 ankle sprain. So a grade 2 ankle sprain is multiple weeks. It's 2 to 4 weeks usually. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 4. Like everybody's ankles are different. And that's what Jaren Jackson has. Whenever you see the ankle turn and the player can get the ankle unturned before the ankle bone hits the floor, which it didn't happen in Brunson's case. Usually they can avoid the grade 2. If the ankle bone goes all the way down, it's usually grade 2. If it's really bad, it can be grade 3, which is like what Jonathan Kuminga has been coming back from and Brandon Ingram. I think it's grade 2, so he's going to miss some time. The Knicks are in decent position, but the Knicks are not beating the Celtics or the Cavs, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. Brian Windhorst, make sure you check out the podcast, The Hoop Collective. They do a phenomenal job there. You want more of this and then some, get on on your phone or wherever you download your podcasts and download and subscribe to the Hoop Collective podcast.
We recorded one today, George, and a very strange moment happened, and it'll be on television tomorrow on ESPN2 in the afternoon. It's one of my top 5 favorite moments of the podcast. How about that for a
that's a good tease.
I was on once from Indiana during the All-Star break and from my hotel room, and my wife walked behind me. So there was that. So that was fairly strange for me.
Hey, you had to edit that out, I believe.
Usually we do 5 to 5:30 commercial free. How about today?
We did 4 to
4:30.
Yeah,
we do whatever we want to do.
Yeah. Take that, Bergman.
Yeah, you hear that, Bergie?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the time, as always. There it is. All right, let me tell you about LAX. My home away from home, changes arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the traveler experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. I'll be there Saturday night. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding. Who doesn't want to get to their flight faster? And a new facility will soon have all major rental car brands under one roof for when your friends and family come to visit. And in the future, if you're local, you don't even need a car to get to LAX. The People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. Yep, you can take the Metro right to the Century Station outside the airport, and then the People Mover train will pick you right up there, take you right to your terminal. For more information, check out their website, flylax.com. For more info, that's flylax.com.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
ESPN LA and BBGO are going on a quest for the Lakers GOAT. No, not the GOAT. The GOAT. The greatest Lakers fan of all time. Think it's you? Upload your pic or video to Facebook, Instagram, X, or TikTok, and tell us your favorite Lakers memory. Use hashtag LakersGoFoat, GFOAT, and hashtag promotion, and follow at ESPN Los Angeles. The Lakers GOAT is going to be rewarded with courtside seats, a VIP private tour of the Lakers UCLA Health Training Center, a year's supply of BBGO, and more. The Lakers GOAT. Is it you?
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Hey, it's Steve Farr. Is there a sporting event you always wanted to go to but never had time to plan? That's where Absolute Sport comes in. They handle everything, tickets, hotels, VIP access, so you can just live in the moment and enjoy the experience. And because of their trusted league and travel partnerships, they can get you the best deals and actually save you money. So what are you waiting for? Visit us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport and make your sports dream a reality.
Hey, LA, let's talk trash. Food waste, that is. Tossing your food scraps in the regular trash sends them to landfills where they release harmful gases like methane. Fight global warming by simply sorting your food scraps and placing them in your green bin. It's quick, it's easy, it helps protect our planet. Ready to do your part? Visit cleanla.com or call 888-CLEAN-LA for more tips. This message funded by Cal Recycle.
Hey everybody, it's Cap. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming, but Seller's Advantage makes it easy. One customer shared, and I quote, "Inheriting a home felt like too much work. Seller's Advantage gave us a reasonable offer, handled everything, and closed in 3 weeks. I highly recommend them." End quote. Skip repairs and headaches. Call Seller's Advantage at 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
So Mark Real from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
Michelle Smallman here. Are you dreaming of seeing your team draft their next superstar? Travel Wisconsin is sending 10 lucky fans and a guest to the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Witness unforgettable moments and make memories that will last a lifetime. Don't miss out. Enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes. Visit travelwisconsin.com/draft to learn how you can win a trip to experience the biggest moment of the offseason. Epic moments that become lifelong memories are waiting to be discovered across Wisconsin. Terms and conditions apply.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
It's the LA Afternoon Takeover on 710 ESPN.
Man, I hate when my brain is right and my heart is wrong.
It was so close to having your brain wrong and your heart right,
No,
too.
it would have been so much fun if that were the case.
More Sedano and Cap right now.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
I used to love the show Cops. It was a great show.
I mean, it was like the OG reality show,
It
right?
really was, yes.
I think the reason I really liked it is because a lot of times they would use these sheriffs in Broward County, Florida.
where you grew up, right?
Where I grew up in this county. And I was like, man, there's some weird stuff that goes on in this town. I mean, I always knew I heard things about it, but I never really saw it.
Wow, it's still going?
Which Cops is still on?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah?
Where at?
It's currently in its 36 and 37 seasons.
Where can I watch it?
I mean, I'm sure on an independent channel somewhere.
I feel like
Like
it's on-
KCAL or KTLA
yeah, like
or
late
one of
at
those?
night.
Yeah.
Like late
Yeah.
at night, 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to get to Radio Tinder, but I will tell you guys coming up, I have finally done something that I never thought I would do in my life. Speaking of TV shows.
37 seasons.
Okay, speaking of TV shows, independent channels, I'll fill you in later on.
All right.
Oh,
1989 it
That's
started.
a tease for you right
Cops. Anyway. All right, good tease. Go ahead, Linz.
All right, guys, so there is a new trend in home design, and it's apparently helping people's marriages. Separate primary baths or his and her bathrooms are becoming increasingly popular in new or remodeled homes, according to the National Kitchen and Bath Association. So I read the story in the New York Post, and there's some funny quotes in here. Like, one woman was like, she said her husband's bathroom habits are disgusting, but he insisted that, she's too clean. And now, apparently, with his and hers bathrooms, they have peace and harmony in the bathroom. And then this other lady said, well, if you're second in line for the toilet and it needs to be fumigated before you go in, I can't deal with that. I should be able to use a toilet without taking precautions. Great point right there. So would you guys ever spend the money to have his and hers bathrooms? Swipe left or swipe right? Cappy, you go first.
I'm going to swipe right.
I would too.
I'm going to start off by saying this. When Jay Moore was on a couple weeks ago, Jay talked about why him and Jeannie don't actually live in the same place. Like, his place is on the ground floor, her place is on the third floor. At night, when it's time to go to sleep, it's like, all right, see you tomorrow, babe. She goes to her bedroom, he goes to his bedroom. He said he farts too much. He doesn't listen. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but when I'm sleeping with Rachel, I hold it in all night long.
It can't be good for you.
No, it's bad. It's very bad. The notion of having a his and her bathroom and separated is a great idea. Like, in the mornings, we get up, the bathroom in her bedroom, that's her bathroom. The bathroom downstairs, that's my bathroom. And I want my own privacy. So I'm all for the his and her bathroom. And by the way,
honestly, it makes it easier. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Like,
should I remodel a
if
house
you
anytime
could,
soon? I'm doing
if you
it.
could do it, if you got the money for it and like the size of a house, I could see why you would want to do it. Sure, because bathroom to your point, most of them usually not huge, right? So to share that small of a space is tough.
And for a lot of women, myself included, bathrooms are like your sanctuary. You want to be able to relax and take a bath and like get ready, and you don't want to have it like, to this one lady's point, like have to fumigate it and it be all smelly when you want to go in there and get ready and take your time. And so, yeah.
Well, it's a sanctuary for guys, too. Let me tell you something. I spent many hours in my bathroom sitting on the toilet, even when I didn't have to go to the bathroom. Just sitting there going, oh, my God, I got to get out of this marriage. Oh, my God, I got to get divorced. Oh, my God, what's going to happen with my kids? Oh, my God, what the hell am I going to do? I'm in here. I'm in the bathroom. Yeah. I mean, it's my sanctuary.
Yeah. What's next, Lindsay?
DeAndre is the next one.
I'm sorry.
It's true, though. Straight up for real, homeboy.
So we know that the college basketball conference tournaments are going on throughout this week.
Yeah.
And
got the Horizon League on right now. Robert Morris and Youngstown State.
That's right. So John Calipari, the head coach for Arkansas.
I just saw him. He was in OKC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because all his guys were playing, like, Jamal Murray and Shea and all those guys.
So
I had a good conversation
that's gonna be
with Cal.
interesting. You listing all those guys. I want to play a clip of him on his thoughts on conference tournaments.
I don't care about the conference tournament, which is why we won it so many times, because I could care less. The tournament that matters is the NCAA tournament. Now, you play that tournament to get the best seed you can get. And if you're going to get to the finals, win. Or don't go to the finals and lose because you're exhausted and you got to play on Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm like, let's play well and try to improve our seed.
So my question is, does conference tournaments matter at all throughout college basketball? I mean,
it matters to a lot of teams because it's an automatic bid.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, it may not have mattered to him because his teams generally were so stacked that they were going to get into the tournament anyway. It was very rare that they were even on the bubble. But if you're Youngstown State or Robert Morris, you got to win this conference tournament to punch your ticket to the dance.
Right. Or think about it like this. Let's say you're in a conference where
North Carolina is a perfect example.
Right. Where
they're bad this year in the ACC. They're the first 4 out according to Joe Lunardi. They somehow win the ACC tournament, North Carolina's in.
Right.
And by the way, if you're the NCAA tournament, CBS, TNT, and all that, you absolutely want North Carolina in that tournament.
Right, I'll give you another example. I mean, I think about San Diego State basketball. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Here's a team
SDSU.
Here's a team that 2 years ago was in the national championship game.
I remember I was there with you.
Now, here we are 2 years later, and when you look at the Mountain West, which is about to become the Pac-12, you've got 3 teams that are likely in, and one of their teams that's probably a 20 to 21, 22-win team is probably on the way out.
Yeah.
But if you're the 4 seed, you've got no choice but to win your tournament to absolutely get yourself in. Now, you might knock somebody else out from your conference, but yeah, I disagree with Coach Calipari. As George points out, his teams, especially like the Kentucky teams, those teams were loaded, so they didn't care. They already knew they were in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
I disagree with him.
But in this team this year, they're 8-10 in conference play. Like, they're literally legit 8-10 in conference play, and so it should mean more, especially with this Arkansas team, which probably not going to win the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I mean, if he plans on playing in the NCAA
Well,
tournament,
this year,
he's gonna have
right,
to
it's
win.
his first year. They definitely – I'll tell you this. You want to know the game he wanted to win really bad this year? At Kentucky, and he did.
Mm-hmm. Did he?
Yeah.
Did they win?
Yeah, when he went back to Kentucky. Because I joked with him. I said, he was talking. We were talking quickly about the season, and he's like, yeah. And then I said, but you got one that you definitely wanted, and he's like, because he had basically said the season was, it was they had to put it together last second, right? He went there, and they're expecting to build on for next season. But I said, you got the one you wanted though, and he kind of laughed and just walked away. So yeah. Anyway, Cal looked good, by the way. He's looking lean and mean.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah.
Arkansas Life is doing good for him.
Yeah, that is Radio Tinder. Cappy, right now, time is running out. ESPN LA proudly partnering with Children's Hospital Los Angeles, CHLA, for the annual Make March Matter campaign, auctioning off exclusive items all month long. All right? All you got to do is go to 710-4FOR-CHLA.com. 710-FOR-CHLA.com. There's a dinner with you and me.
That's right.
It's at $500 right now. This is a Fleming's dinner. That dinner's going to be more than $500.
Absolutely.
Way more. Okay? Especially with the way Cappy and I like to eat steak and drink, and we're going to get one of those seafood towers or something. All right? So there's that. Dinner with you and me. There's an experience that I'm sure your kids would love, especially if you have older kids who want to get in the business, because it's a tour with me of the radio and TV studios. And you get to hang out and watch, see how things get done. Okay? And that one's cheap. It's like $160 or something like that. And then there's a wine tasting with me and Beto. So not only are you and I going to drink wine at Fleming's, but Beto and I at the San Antonio Winery. That's $260 right now. That's a good deal. Okay,
Well,
so $160 for the tour. You can bring your kids, especially if you got a kid like in college who wants to get in the business. And of course, the wine tour. $260 with me and Beto, and then the dinner with me and Cappy is also $500.
And I got me and Beto on a taco tour
Well,
that's
that's right.
currently at $90.
I may jump in on that.
Dude, that's 90. You want to get down and dirty? Come hang out with us.
I may buy it, so that
$90
way
is
I'll spend $90 and we just all eat tacos all
And
day.
here's another one for you. You ready?
Yeah.
An SD versus LA baseball game experience where you want to bust my balls all day long.
Hey, what are you doing?
Freaking over here. You know,
Yeah.
like how could your Padres even
Come
think they
on.
belong with the Dodgers? You want to go to an SD versus LA baseball game? That's at $200 right now. The tickets are more than $200.
Right.
So
it's a good deal.
got a lot of good things up there.
So go there. Make sure. 710-4CHLA.com. 710-FORCHLA.com. It's all for a good cause. We're donating it all to Children's Hospital Los Angeles. So make sure you go 710-4FORCHLA.com. All right, Cappy, real quick. Tell us about your friend Avner Gatt before we move on.
So
Because
I would-
Dr. Clapper's going to join us.
Right. So, and good, because I got a lot of questions about LeBron's groin. I'm very interested in LeBron's groin.
Groin talk.
So I had this conversation the other day with Avner Gatt. I can tell you all about Avner. I'm going to give you his phone number.
billboard the other
yeah,
day.
it's great, right? His billboard's awesome. But I had this conversation with Avner the other day, and here's what he told me. So this lady calls him, and you know the number, 818-917-5256. The phone rings, bring, and Avner answers the phone himself. Hello. So this woman calls, and she said, listen, my house was burned to the ground in the wildfires. And she was saying to Avner, please, I need your help. I need your help in dealing with my insurance company. And as Avner listened to her, he said to her, he goes, listen, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you an email, and I'm going to ask you to answer a bunch of questions for me. But as he was listening to her story, and of course his heart was bleeding for her, he tried to set her expectations very low because he didn't want to underpromise, or overpromise rather. He wanted to underpromise and overdeliver. So he just tried to set her expectations kind of low. And when they start to say their goodbyes, the woman starts crying on the call. She starts like hysterically crying. And he said to her, listen, miss, did I say something? Did I offend you? Are you upset that I didn't, all of a sudden guarantee you millions of dollars are coming away? Like, what's wrong? And she said to him, no, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't offend me in any way. You're the first person who listened to me. You're the first person that's given me any hope that I lost my house and I lost my cars and I lost every picture that I had and I lost every document that I had. And I literally lost it all. And you're the only person that's listened to me and given me an ounce of hope. Guys, I'm here to tell you, whether it was the fires, whether it's water damage at your home, call Avner Gatt. Because the one thing you're going to find out about Avner, I say it all the time, it's him, it's his family, it's his team, and they're going to treat you like family. And they're going to fight for you to get what's right for you. 818-917-5256, AvnerGatt.com. Avner deals with the insurance companies. You don't. He has the relationships. He knows what he's doing. You don't. Call Avner Gatt. He'll answer the phone. You'll know it's him when you hear, hello. Avner Gatt, your claim, our game.
The biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland on 710.
And I've also got a Mason and Ireland bobblehead.
I think I have one left.
I have one left.
I think that would actually go.
They have some on eBay.
I'm going to look on eBay and see if there's one still there. I don't think it's worth as much as you guys think it's worth.
I think
But
if we
you sign it.
Oh, sign. Yeah,
maybe.
now you're talking. Other than that, I can't think of anything that you know what, I would sell my Shohei Ohtani bobblehead, the one with decoy.
Oh, there we go.
I think that would go for a lot. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with Shohei, but I think I can get some money for that.
There's one for sale for $100.
$100?
That's more than I thought.
Y'all's bobblehead?
Yeah. I hate our bobblehead.
It's
It's
a
got
weird
like
one.
half of me
It's
and
a
half
weird
of
one.
John, and
And
neither
then-
side looks like us.
Yeah,
And it makes me look really fat. I don't
well,
know.
it makes both of us look
Yeah,
fat.
it makes us both look fat.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey guys, what's up? It's George Sedano. Waiting is never fun. Usually nothing good happens when you wait. My friend Jacob in the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? This week only, all Pro Elite wash items and accessories are buy one, get one half off. That's car wash, tire cleaner, leather cleaner. All buy one, get one half off. Sponges and towels, we've got duo weave, waffle weave, whatever weave you want. Accessories too. Pro Elite floor mats, car covers, and more. Any Pro Elite item, buy one, get one half off. This week only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I
had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Take a look at me.
I feel like your fat is less visceral.
Oh, really?
The LA Afternoon Takeover rolls on right now.
Is this some sort of Gloria Gaynor anniversary?
Give it to
It's
me.
her birthday?
Let me hear.
Let me see. No.
I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
number one hit yesterday.
Don't tell me what year.
We
Don't tell
were
me.
off. So
What year? 1982.
you're off by a little.
84.
No, keep going.
79?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Really?
Only your third try.
Hey, not bad. Not terrible. 79, huh?
George, you missed that one from Friday.
What
Who
happened?
was that?
What was that?
That was Cap.
That was me?
Yes, that was part of your interview with the Costco guys.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. The Costco
I didn't go back
guys.
to listen to that on the podcast. Trust me.
Costco guys are awesome.
Yeah.
They're so awesome.
You know who's awesome? Dr. Clapper. Forget the
all right.
Costco
He's
guys.
okay.
Give me the Cedar Sinai guy, okay? Hello, Dr.
That's
Clapper.
right. How about Brian Windhorst? He's an AAD, also a doctor, talking about level grade 2 ankle sprains when it hits the floor. I love it.
Did you like it? I mean, he knows a little bit. He's covered enough ankles that he knows what's up.
Yeah, no, he impressed me a lot, but what he said really is not true, but that's besides the point.
Well, hey, listen, Dr. Clapper, at least he prefaces everything he says with,
I'm not a doctor."
Yeah. You know?
Yeah,
So,
he's definitely not a
Okay, so
doctor,
you tell
but
us.
thank
Tell
you.
us about the ankle sprain.
The key to the ankle sprain is that there is hidden in the ligament that is torn, microscopically or grossly torn, a burglar alarm sensor. Here's a Clapper vision that gives feedback to your brain. Uh-oh, my ankle's being twisted into a bad position. And that sends a signal to your brain. It's called proprioception, that allows you to immediately, unconsciously, fire the perineal muscle and tendon, which are on the outside, the little toe side of your calf. They actually go into spasm and fire before you do more damage. When you tear the ligament, you break that sensor. And that's why people come back too soon from an ankle sprain. And I'm not talking a high ankle sprain, a regular ankle sprain. They come back too soon, and so they will sprain it and create a grade 3 ankle sprain because they didn't let it heal good enough to have that sensor come back to normal.
Got it. All right. Well, that makes total sense.
It sure does.
Dr. Clapper, Cappy he wants to talk groins with you.
I want to talk LeBron's groin specifically. Doc, you saw what happened on Saturday night in Boston. So based on what you've seen and based on what LeBron is saying, which is this isn't as bad as it was, this is going back to like 2018-ish or whatever. What do you make of a groin issue and a guy who's 40 and how long it takes to recover?
Here's a Clapper vision for you. I want everybody to feel the front of their thigh right now. That's the quadriceps muscle.
Yeah.
That's the front of your thigh. Now I want you to feel the inner portion of your thigh.
Careful, Cappy.
I know,
And
it
now,
feels good.
and now the outer side where your pocket is, the lateral side.
Yeah, right.
And then the fourth area, I want you to feel the bottom, the back of your thigh.
Hamstrings.
Where your hamstrings are.
Yeah.
So the Clapper vision is a hot dog in a bun. Only this hot dog, you put mustard and sauerkraut, because I'm from New York, on top of the hot dog, to the point that you now no longer can see that there's a hot dog. All you see is sauerkraut and bun, even though the hot dog is inside there. Capiche?
Capiche.
Your femur bone, which is the top of the thigh bone that becomes your hip.
Tell me it's the hot dog, please.
Is the hot dog.
Yes.
Okay? And the bun on both sides of the hot dog, the bun, the bottom of the hot dog, and the sauerkraut on top surround the femur, okay? Kawhi Leonard, remember how he suffered, got mad in San Antonio because of his quad injury? That's as though you scratched away and injured the sauerkraut. That's the front of the hot dog. LeBron James's injury, a groin, is the adductor. That's what a groin strain is, and that represents tearing or fraying microscopically or whatever the bun on the inside. It's not the bottom, the hamstring, and it's not the outside. The reason I'm painting this picture of Clapper vision of the hot dog and the bun for his injury is you now understand that it surrounds the entirety of the femur. So if you strain one aspect, you now are stressing the rest of the bun to compensate. And so the biggest issue, yes, it will heal. Yes, it'll be 1 to 2 weeks. But at 40 years old, Cappy, you better make sure it's 100% healed. Because otherwise, we're going to hear about a hamstring or a quad strain or something else down the line.
Good picture, by the way, because I'll tell you, I think sauerkraut is a very underrated sort of condiment. And when you put to me, I'll tell you right now, I'll go relish, onions, kraut, and like a spicy brown mustard. That's a nice dog, Doc.
What about the red onions in the cart at Central Park when they put those red onions on? Oh, my God, I love them.
I know. And I'll tell you something. The other day we had a Pink's hot dog in here. And I'll tell you, it's a snappy hot dog. You know what I mean? Like when you bite into it, snap, crunch, like it.
The best thing about Pink's is when you go and eat there, one of the pictures on the wall is of Elvis Presley. That's my favorite.
Okay.
I love it. Dr. Clapper, you're the man. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, I love you too. Thanks so much for the time.
See it. There he is, the great Dr. Clapper. Robert Clapper.
Did you get everything there with the kraut?
Yeah, I got it.
And
I was in.
But the inside of the bun.
No, I got you.
No, it's very important you understand.
I did.
The inside of the bun, not the outside, not the underneath of the bun,
I get it.
inside the bun.
You know what I also understand?
Tell me.
Prize Picks. All right. You want action in the state of California? Go to Prize Picks.
All right.
Download the app. Use the promo code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $5 play gets you a $50 bonus. First of all, we want to thank everyone who's downloaded the app and uses it because we are the number numero uno, okay? Prize Picks show in America.
That's right.
Not America Ferrara.
No, sí.
America the country.
Sí.
Okay?
The country.
Okay?
Yes.
So here's the deal. This is as simple as more or less. There's a statistical line for pretty much every individual player in every sport imaginable, and you go more or less on that particular stat, and you bundle them together, and that's how you can win some cold hard cash.
So today is Taco Tuesday. And by the way, for those of you that have downloaded the Prize Picks app, when you go into it, you'll notice that there's been a redesign, and it really looks great. And when you see a player's face, make sure you click on that player's face because let's say, for example, you're looking at Derek Jones of the New Orleans Pelicans tonight, 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Well, when you click on his face, it's going to tell you that over his last 5 games, he's had 19, 21, 13, 12, and 20. So 3 of the last 5 games, he's actually had more than the 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Tonight is Taco Tuesday. Big discount on Zion Williamson. His regular more or less number would be 23.5 points. Tonight, you're getting a discount down to 19.5 points. So anytime you get a Taco Tuesday discount, my suggestion is make sure you play it. Prize Picks. Download the app. Use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. Make a $5 play. Get a $50 bonus.
Prize Picks. Run your game.
Hey, it's Mace. Want a new game to get excited about? Check out Chumba Casino, your favorite online social casino. It's free to play, no strings attached. Enjoy social casino games like bingo, slingo, and slots and more with new releases every week, whether you're at home or on the go. Play for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Get started today at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Hey, it's Cap. Is it time to downsize? Selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle. Not with Seller's Advantage. You can skip the agents, commissions, and costly repairs. By the time you pay for repairs and agent fees, you could have already sold your home for a fair, competitive price without the worry of the deal falling through. Here's what Chris Chavez, a real Seller's Advantage customer, had to say, and I quote, "Seller's Advantage was definitely the best company I've worked with. They offered me more than I expected, and the whole process was great. They were helpful, always answered the phone, and willing to help. I can't say enough about the experience. Much better than going through a realtor," end quote. Thank you, Chris. Get your free, no-obligation cash offer today. Call Seller's Advantage at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-397-2747, or visit sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes nonstop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of nonstop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Beep, ba-da-bop. Yeah. Boom, ba-da-bop. Boom, ba-da-bop. Boom, ba-da-bop. Oh, United just sent me my pre-order meal, Cappy. I'm going to go with a little beef melt sandwich.
A beef melt sandwich on the plane?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Sounds delicious.
It actually does sound really damn good.
Yeah. It's got some aioli on it. It's nice.
Hey, shout out to Ron the Caddy. I got to shout out my boy
Ron
the
the Caddy.
Ron
Okay.
the Caddy.
Yeah.
Yesterday, a $360 score on Prize Picks.
Good for you, Ron the Caddy.
Now, Ron the Caddy, I'm really, really, really happy for you. I
Mhm.
really am. But I just want to remind you of one thing. When you make your Prize Picks, there is a share button. When you click share, you can put your Prize Picks on Twitter, or you can text them to your pals, whatever. Ron the Caddy, you got to make sure you share your Prize Picks with me. Because, like, if the Lakers don't play, like they're not tonight, I've not played. So I'm looking for action, but I didn't do any of the homework.
Oh.
So if Ron the Caddy's doing the work,
Then you just play his plays?
Ron the Caddy, I'll play your plays.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, there's games. There's only one more game left. Clippers Pelicans that you mentioned earlier, but yeah, you needed to jump on a little earlier. There's some hockey, I'm sure.
Haven't looked at any darts yet.
Yeah.
Today's Tuesday, right?
Oh, you love a little Luke Littler.
I do love darts.
Yeah.
I do love some darts.
Yeah. Cappy, let's talk some football.
Football!
Devontae Adams is a Ram. So it's so funny. I was, where did I come from? Oh, OKC on Sunday. So I landed at LAX, my home away from home, at about like 4:30. And I'm walking through, it was American Airlines. I'm walking through Terminal 5.
Okay, Terminal 5. All
Yeah.
right, not Terminal H.
No.
Gotcha.
And I'm walking past, they have like a hallway that walks past the TSA that's going the other way. You know what I mean? As people are going to their
Right.
flights.
Mhm.
So there's two guys there. They're there basically to tell you, like, you can't go the other way. You know what I mean? And I see the guys talking to each other, talking football. And I pointed at the guy, he was talking about the Raiders. Maybe it was Geno Smith. And I was like, oh, Devontae Adams, man. And he's like, hey, Sedano. Yeah, Devontae Adams. And it was like, people were talking at the airport. They're talking Raiders and Rams.
Yeah. Well, that's because the Raiders and the Rams are the two teams of Los Angeles, and I support both of them because now they call me Raider Cap. And I'm very excited about Geno Smith. But I must tell you, let me talk about Davante Adams for a second, okay? Because
you were not in on Davante Adams.
Not at all.
Yeah. I think he's perfect.
Well, let me give you kind of an idea of where I'm at now. So Davante Adams for me, and it's because I watched when you refused to watch the show Receivers a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Netflix.
Yeah, you didn't like Jimmy Garoppolo.
He hated Jimmy Garoppolo. And what's really amazing is the Rams re-signed Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, but they got Matt Stafford.
I understand.
But they're one hit away.
Right. I mean, let's just say, God forbid, something happens to Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Then Davante Adams goes back to having to deal with Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's like, oh, this guy again.
Who he hated in Vegas.
But the difference is McVay.
No doubt. So here's the thing. And I'll always make this comparison.
Yeah.
When you have a certain player with a certain kind of attitude, that's a very selfish kind of a player.
Yeah.
Okay? It requires a certain kind of coach and a certain kind of quarterback to take a selfish guy and turn him into a team guy. And here's a historic example. When Randy Moss played for the Raiders in Oakland, it looked like Randy Moss's career was coming to an end. As great as he was in Minnesota,
Right.
he was equally as terrible with Oakland.
Right.
Because he was unhappy.
Right.
He didn't have a quarterback. He didn't have a coach.
Right.
He didn't have a winning culture, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct.
Davante Adams, in the early part of his career in Green Bay, he was just a really great, productive wide receiver.
Right.
You had a strong Super Bowl winning head coach in Mike McCarthy. You had in his prime, Aaron Rodgers. You're playing for a legendary franchise. You're winning. You're competing for a championship every year. And the only thing you ever heard of Davante Adams was how great of a player he was.
Right.
When he left and he went to the Raiders and he offered to let you have that sort of front row seat to his life in the show Receiver, you find out he's a pain in the ass. But when you think about why is he a pain in the ass? Because
the Raiders stink.
The Raiders are bad. They don't have a coach who really can I'll use the word control, but so let's just stick with that
navigate
word.
the situation.
Okay. He doesn't have a quarterback. He doesn't have a coach. He doesn't have a winning culture. He doesn't have the organization around him. He doesn't have the support. And when a kid like Davante Adams gets pissed off and unhappy, you're going to see what you saw out of him with the Raiders, which was, I'm out of here. I demand a way to get out of here. I demand a trade. He goes to the New York Jets. Now, I don't know about the rest of you guys. I didn't watch a lot of Jets football this past year because they were bad. And they weren't on prime time. And on Sunday, to watch a Jets versus a Bengals game just wasn't something I was sitting down for. I had other games to be watching. But if you really go back and you look at the numbers, and by the way, if you start going back and you look at some of the highlights, Davante Adams got back to being Davante Adams with the Jets this past year.
Right.
So now let me bring you to the current situation.
Right.
When I find out that Davante Adams is going to be a Ram,
Yeah.
my first instinct is I don't like this.
Oh.
Because I don't like the attitude of the player.
Right.
And in particular, George, when you think about who's leaving versus who's coming,
Yeah.
think about Cooper Kupp. When I think about Cooper Kupp, I think about the ultimate team player.
Yeah.
A guy who, in his prime, was one of the best wide receivers in all of football. But now, a couple years later, no longer in his prime, injury prone, not nearly as productive. And by the way, Cooper Kupp is still a great player because what he does is when he's not getting the ball thrown his way, he's a guy that's willing to do every other little thing it takes for his team to win. So for me, Cooper Kupp is an ultimate team player.
Yeah.
Davante Adams is more of a I'm about me kind of a player.
Right.
But after taking a deep breath on all of this, after really analyzing, who is the head coach? Sean McVay. Check.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Sean McVay is arguably one of the top 3 coaches in the sport.
No question.
I appreciate you buttering me up, George.
You're welcome.
No problem, Coach. When you take McVay, a guy who's got a Super Bowl ring and who's been to another Super Bowl, a guy who you as a player believe in this coach.
Yeah.
Okay? When you take McVay's resume and you take the belief that players have in him.
Stafford.
Then you throw on top of it Stafford.
Right.
And then I put a little cherry on top of this whole Davante Adams thing.
Lesney?
No, because this didn't even occur to me.
Oh, okay.
Because, again, at first, my thought on Davante Adams is I don't like it.
Yeah.
But then again, McVay, he got this. Stafford, he got this. Winning environment, Davante's going to love it. Being in L.A., not being in Green Bay, not being in Vegas, being in Los Angeles, this is going to make him happy.
Yeah.
And then I threw on top of this.
He's got a Taco Bell at his house. I don't know if you know.
I do know that. I don't know that he's going to have a Taco Bell in his house here.
He might.
But he might. He definitely has one in Vegas. Then I throw on top of it one last thing. The brilliance of McVay and the way he hires coaches. Because you know what my boy Van Pelt did when he was back in Green Bay?
He coached quarterbacks.
And receivers.
Oh, okay.
And he coached Davante Adams. And he had Davante Adams. And he's got a relationship with Davante Adams.
Oh, there you go.
And so there's
Look at your boy making things happen.
There's even more of a reason to believe that between McVay, the Rams organization,
do you believe?
The quarterback, and even somebody like your senior offensive assistant who has a relationship with the player,
right?
Davante Adams, even though he's older than Cooper Kupp.
He is.
Davante
He's
Adams,
better, though.
He's
better at this stage.
Yes. I hate to admit it,
Yes.
but it's true.
It's not even an argument.
Because Cooper Kupp, I mean, if you looked at their numbers last year, stats to stats, they're virtually
Right,
even.
when you watch them play.
But Cooper Kupp, unfortunately, became the number 2. And you don't really want to have your number 1 guy become your number 2 guy, even though Puka has emerged.
By the way, the guy at the airport told me that Puka had just come by there when I told him about Davante Adams. And then I see the story today that Puka's willing to negotiate for the number 17. That's a smart little Puka.
Or maybe Davante Adams says, you know what? New team, new city, new number. I don't even want your number, Puka. You got 17 all wrapped up with the Rams for the last couple of years?
Yeah.
I don't even want your 17.
Well, the Rams just sent out a press release earlier today that Puka is going to have the number 12.
Okay.
There
How
you go.
about that? There you
so
go.
he's got cash now. That's a smart move.
How much
if you're
money would
Puka,
you
you're not
want?
married to 17.
Yeah.
You
You've
don't
been
have
here
to
like
be.
2 years.
Right. And by the way, I don't remember what Puka's number was at BYU because I never saw him play at
12.
BYU.
12.
Okay.
There you
perfect.
go. So he goes back to his college
He goes
number.
back to his number.
Who was 12 here that he couldn't get 12 before?
Good question. Anybody? Okay, look. So here's me,
see.
and I've been long-winded on this, but I'm going to I'm going to finish it off like this. My initial thought on Davante Adams was diva, selfish, don't love it. Then when I catch my breath and I really think about it, and I say Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, winning culture, great organization, the city of Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium, all of these things wrapped up are going to make Davante Adams happy and maybe as productive as he's been since his Green Bay days. And this will change the Rams offense. Because the Rams offense,
they need somebody that can go, take the top off.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, Puka's a guy who is tough and can come across the middle and will make hard catches and will sacrifice his body. Cooper Kupp, great route runner, great blocker, great unselfish player. But when you talk about a true game breaker, that's Davante Adams, even at this stage of his career, because he's been in the NFL since 2014. Coach McVay, got to give it up. You've heard the story by now, I'm sure, that Davante Adams was vacationing for the first time in his life in Japan. And McVay was FaceTiming him from L.A. to Japan, recruiting him, putting the sell on him.
Yeah.
This wasn't like the agent to Les Snead. This was coach to player. You got to come play for us. And you know what? It's a 2-year deal. That's probably what you got left in Matthew Stafford. I think when it's all said and done, initial thought, didn't love it, but where I am today, absolutely love it. Feel bad for Cooper Kupp, but love it.
Yeah, it's business. Dresser Wynn was a quarterback in camp who had number 12 in 2023, so Puka took 17. I guess Dresser Wynn, whatever, got the number before
undressed.
It's a great name.
Got a number before him. So there you go. That's why Puka wasn't wearing 12 from the beginning. Look at that.
Undressed.
How about that for investigative
That's good.
reporting?
That's good. And it's good that you were able to investigate while I was rambling.
Well, I could hear you.
Yeah.
And that way you could get your
right,
time
no,
of
I could
possession.
really expand.
Yeah.
I really had a lot of strong opinions about this situation.
No, I know. And you needed to get in your boy Van Pelt in 3 times.
It's interesting how, he's come out here, and we last Saturday night, I guess it was Thursday night, we went to the Lakers.
Is he going to live in the
game.
Valley?
He's going to live up by the facility, up by the team,
by the
probably
valley,
the Agora Hills area,
yeah.
maybe some Calabasas.
It's hot there in the
maybe.
summer, tell him.
I know.
Yeah.
But we went
You know,
on
120 degrees up there. Now, maybe not 120, but still hot.
What was so awesome was Saturday night. We now he's a Laker fan, right?
Oh, nice.
So we
you took him to a game.
Took him to the Laker game against the Knicks. That was an exciting game.
Yeah.
Saturday night we got together in Anaheim to watch the Lakers against the Celtics at another one of our buddies' house.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Robert Coons, 5-year NFL tight end, played for the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, and is a 20-plus year LA firefighter.
Yeah.
And he hosted us at his house on Saturday night. We all got together and watched the game.
Yeah, nice.
And it's nice to have your friends in town.
Oh, that's nice,
I mean,
Captain.
dude, I was going to drive. I was going to schlep all the way out there tonight
Schlep?
to just go have dinner.
Yeah.
You know, in the middle of all this traffic. By the way, because there's been a little bit of rain today, can everybody hurry home? Like, everybody, get off the roads. Like, try and get off the roads.
Well, don't hurry home because that's actually worse.
I mean, go home now.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
wait until 6 o'clock when I'm trying to get home.
Right. Yeah, because you got a long drive.
I got a long drive tonight. And I
Why are you coming back?
You don't want to know about this.
Tell him.
You don't want to
Tell
know.
him.
about
He
Oh, I
wants
need to
to
know.
know.
You don't want to
At this
know.
point, it's commercial
I wanna
free.
know.
You don't. Do you want to know?
I want to know.
Inquiring minds want to
You
know.
wanna know? Okay, so listen. Here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. I don't care. How old's your daughter? How old's Aria?
10.
I don't care if your daughter is 10 or if your daughter is 21. Parenting never ends.
Oh, of course.
It never ends.
Yeah.
Your kid could be 25. Kid could be 35. Your kid could be married and have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Have a job and a house, and your parenting will never end.
Yeah, I know.
And that is the circumstance I find myself in.
Okay. Which
right
kid?
now. My daughter Jaden, who's home visiting from Tulane.
Right. Not 3-lane.
No, just Tulane.
Right.
TWO lane. That's right, Tulane. And now she's decided to stick around a little bit longer from spring break.
Oh.
And now tomorrow she's going to be
Using
going
your
back.
Uber account?
She's using my Uber account. She's using my Amazon account. She's using my debit card to go to the grocery store. And she's the one that put me into a Chick-fil-A burrito earlier this morning.
Okay.
But, so now I got to go because I got to go home tonight because she decided not to leave. And then tomorrow I'm going to drive all the way back. That's like 400 miles of driving in 2 days, you know? It's a lot of driving.
Horrible.
It's a lot of driving.
Yeah, does not sound fun.
It doesn't sound fun, huh?
Yeah.
The drive, I'll tell you right now, the drive from Encinitas to downtown LA, it's about 90-plus miles, 90-ish and change. But at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in
It's
the morning,
easy.
it's a breeze.
Yeah.
There's
6 o'clock, it's going to be 2.5 hours.
Tonight, listen, I will
3
make,
maybe.
I will make it to Commerce Casino by about 7:30 tonight.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody goes, well, why don't you just stay, have dinner, relax, let the roads clear out, bro? I'd rather just get in my car and start progressing south a little bit.
What's on after us?
Lakers talk with AK.
Oh, yeah, you can listen to
I got
Lakers
Andy
talk.
Kamenetsky.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, but Cap, if you waited like an hour, you'd probably get home at the same time.
You know what, Lindsay? If I leave at 6 and I get home at 8:30, versus if I leave at 7, I'll get home at like 9.
Oh, really?
Ish. Yeah. So I just am sitting in my car, listening to the radio, making progress down the street. You know, the whole thing. Like last Friday night. It's Friday night. It's a hard night of traffic. I listened to the Stephen A. Podcast about the whole LeBron disaster and what happened. A little disappointed.
Oh, will you stop?
Little disappointed.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this.
All right, go ahead. Because I love Stephen A.
Do you think that DeAndre's a little worried about the Rams now?
Yeah, DeAndre.
Are you worried about the Rams now as an Eagles fan?
I am a little bit, yeah. They're starting to add little key pieces here and there.
As an Eagles fan, you know, Eagles win the Super Bowl. It's hard to repeat, as we know, you know.
I am a little worried, you know, because obviously their D-line is still very young. And
But they just got this new defensive lineman,
They got
Puna
Puna Ford.
Nakua, isn't it?
No, Puna Ford.
Oh, Puna Ford. Puna Ford. You got Puka Nakua, and I thought you had Puna Nakua. No, okay, Puna Ford.
Yeah, you got Puna Ford, and, you know, I mean, like they said, they just keep on adding, and obviously, you know, offseason doesn't end, you know, with the draft and everything, so who knows what else they can do.
That's right. That's right. I think the Rams definitely still need offensive line help. Probably could use a middle linebacker at some level.
Yeah.
And listen, the Devontae Adams thing. Listen, if Devontae Adams can stay healthy, and it's hard. It is
hard.
very,
There's
very
no
hard
doubt.
to be a wide receiver in the NFL and stay healthy.
I would agree.
For all 17 games. But if you can get Devontae Adams to play 13 or 14 games, Devontae Adams with Matthew Stafford with this offense, with this system, with Puka Nakua on the other side,
legit.
with a real tight end and a real running game. Telling you, man, a lot of the NFL talking heads think that they're going to be Super Bowl contenders again.
Yeah, I think so. Now, the Raiders are what? A 500-ish team with Geno Smith? Like, I feel like he at least puts you in that conversation. Like, he's not bad.
No.
He's just not great. But he's way better than anything you guys have had in a long ass time.
Oh, dude. I mean, Geno Smith is a legitimate starting NFL quarterback.
Correct.
You know, he may not be Patrick Mahomes, and he may not be, the upper echelon guys.
No, he's like a 15 to like 20 quarterback.
But he's a professional veteran quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you. I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Here we go.
If you gave me the choice in Seattle of Geno Smith, or what they're planning on doing now with Sam Darnold,
I'd rather have Sam Darnold.
I'd rather have Geno Smith.
Not me.
Because Sam Darnold to me is, listen, I know Sam's from Southern California. Sam's a USC kid. Sam's a first-round draft choice. And Sam has proven that he has tremendous heart and perseverance, because a lot of guys in his position would have been on a bad Jets team and a bad Carolina team and could have turned themselves into a career backup in San Francisco. I give Sam Darnold all the credit in the world. Right place, right time, great season. 14-3 last year for Minnesota.
Yeah.
But the best of Sam Darnold, I believe, has been seen, and I hope that I'm wrong.
Wow, so you're saying a 26-year-old quarterback has peaked?
I'm saying that at 14-3, that was the best season you've ever had on the best team you've ever been a part of. And
How about this?
I'm not so sure he puts a team on
I'll
his
tell you
shoulders.
this. You want to make a friendly little wager here?
Go ahead.
The Vikings don't make the playoffs this year. I bet you they win no more than 8 or 9. I mean, I don't know about 8 or 9. 8 or 9 games in that range. They are not making the playoffs.
Well,
Don't tell Trudell that. He would lose his mind.
That's fine, but it's the truth.
Well, here's the thing. When you have what's going to be essentially a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy,
They're gonna easily lose like 6 more games next year. 5-6 games easy.
You have a quarterback that's in his first year as a starter that's coming off of a major knee injury. That doesn't surprise me. I will say this. I think Kevin O'Connell's a great coach, and I think that they've got great wide receivers, which can make up for, less than great quarterback play. So I would thought the bet you were going to make was going to say, how will Geno perform for the Raiders versus how will Sam Darnold perform for the Seahawks?
Oh, no, the Seahawks aren't as good. They're rebuilding.
But the Raiders aren't very good either.
But the Raiders have more talent than the Seahawks do currently. I mean, they just traded DK Metcalf and
they got rid of what's the little wide receiver's name?
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, he hadn't played so well anymore.
No, but he's still a productive.
Yeah, no, I hear
quality
you.
NFL receiver.
But the Seahawks are going through a rebuild.
Right, and what I'm saying is
the Raiders are not trying to rebuild.
No, but listen, but that's because Pete has said publicly, there is no time for rebuilds around here. There's
He's
time
too old?
Right, well, and I've got a short-term contract.
Right.
So I like what the Raiders have done with
Not
Geno
trying to be
Smith.
an ageist, but it's not like he's some spring chicken.
No, he's not. He's not, and you're not being an ageist. Don't worry about it. We got it.
But who is Geno Smith going to be throwing to? Besides Brock Bowers, they have no receivers.
Brock Bowers pretty damn good, though.
Brock Bowers, but I'm saying, he's going to throw to Jacoby Myers. No disrespect, but there's no talent on the receiving.
I always love that. No disrespect, but he ain't
I'm
good.
disrespecting you because you're not very good.
Yeah.
No, they clearly the Raiders need to
run
upgrade.
game either.
Let's see.
They need
so
to upgrade
they've got
running backs and they need to upgrade receivers.
Jacoby Myers,
decent.
Dog, I don't even know any of these other people. Like he's the only one that I know. So Terrence Marshall Jr.
Nope.
Ramel Keaton. I've heard of Trey Tucker, I guess. Yeah.
No, you haven't.
I heard of Trey Tucker.
No, you haven't.
I don't know anything about Trey Tucker, but I've heard of him.
You've never
He's like
heard
a small little guy.
No, you've never heard of him.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Nah.
Like not the Bengals, like the college.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know any of these guys. Tyreek McAllister?
Oh, yeah, you've heard of him.
Christian Wilkerson?
Oh, you know him.
I don't know any of these receivers. You're right, bro. DJ Turner?
No, they need receivers. They and listen, so DK Metcalf went to Pittsburgh. Oh, by the way, let's pause on that for a quick second. So
the Raiders are going to draft a receiver?
Probably. You would think so. I mean, they're at the number 6 pick, and probably the top 2 quarterbacks will be off the board by then.
What if they draft Travis Hunter as a receiver?
Oh, my God, that'd be great. That'd be great.
And Shedeur was so jealous because he wanted to go there.
That'd be great.
I always got to refer back to Kuiper's big board.
DK Metcalf, quick timeout here.
Yeah.
Goes to Pittsburgh, right? Now the story is who's going to play quarterback for the Steelers?
Who's going to throw to him?
Whoa, Kuiper has Shedeur ahead of Cam.
Okay. Do you know that today there's a report out of Pittsburgh? This is, NFL news, but the report is emanating from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
That Aaron Rodgers is like inches away from signing with the Steelers.
Yins are going to sign Aaron Rodgers?
Yins are going to get down over there with the Steelers and have Aaron Rodgers. The thing is this. It's just like Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
if Devontae Adams is happy, if Devontae Adams is in a winning environment, if Devontae Adams has a strong head coach that's not going to back down to him, I think Devontae Adams can be very successful for the Rams. Aaron Rodgers, I know, 41, almost 42, coming off the Achilles surgery, et cetera, et cetera. But you know what? With a Mike Tomlin-type head coach and with a weapon like DK Metcalf, I think you could still get 2 serviceable years out of Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know about that. Ashton Genty is who Mel's got to the Raiders.
I love
the kid
that
from
play.
Boise.
Oh, I love that. I love Ashton Genty to the Raiders.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it's a nice move.
Got to get a running back. Got to get more help on the offensive line. Definitely need some receivers to go with Bowers because he's going to be an excellent tight end.
He's got Shador to the Jets.
Whoa.
After they just signed Justin Fields?
Yeah, but Justin Fields is
not sticking anywhere.
It's a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
But he's a good quarterback, Justin Fields, to have if you're going to bridge.
Right.
You know, like
he's
Aaron
a bridge
Rodgers,
quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers not a good bridge quarterback because Aaron Rodgers' ego is too big.
Yeah.
You know, Geno Smith would be a good bridge quarterback. He really would.
Yeah.
So where do you think Russell Wilson will end up?
Oh, that's a good point. Russell Wilson is still available.
There was a rumor.
Giants.
There was a rumor that Russell Wilson was going to go to Kansas City as the backup. Now,
It's a good place to be a backup.
Yeah.
It is.
You may get a ring.
I just don't know if Russell Wilson has what it takes personality-wise to – because Russell Wilson could walk in and go, don't you guys think I should be the starter?
No, bro, not on
Patrick
Mahomes'
Mahomes.
team.
Give me a break with this kid, Patrick Mahomes. I'm way better than he is.
I will give Russell Wilson this. He was very cool about the whole quarterback competition in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he got benched.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, did he get hurt?
Justin Fields started.
No, he didn't.
No, Fields
he
started.
Didn't. He
started.
No, Fields started first.
Yeah, Justin Fields started like the first 3-4 weeks of the season. didn't he?
Yeah. Russ came in after because he was injured.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, he was. I don't think he was injured. What didn't they just say?
No, he started the season injured.
He gives them the best chance to win, and everyone thought it was very
No,
controversial.
he was banged up.
Instead of going back to him, though,
He was banged up because when he did return, they were still rolling with Justin Fields because at that time the Steelers were winning a little bit.
Yeah, there was an injury
Yeah,
issue in the
that's what
preseason.
it was.
Yeah. So
there is so
you
much
love
movement.
Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Well,
way more than anyone I know outside of the Rodgers family. Although even they don't necessarily love him all that much, according to allegedly, according to reports.
I like drama. Okay, I like LeBron walking over to Stephen A. in a game.
Oh
I like Aaron Rodgers being a guy who gets everybody fired and then himself gets fired. I like Aaron Rodgers having to be humbled and find a new place to keep playing. I don't love the Steelers looking at a guy like Aaron Rodgers for this reason. Hey, coach, you drafted a quarterback in the first round. He wasn't that good. You let him go to Philadelphia. He won a ring as a backup.
Yeah.
He's now gotten traded to Cleveland, where he's more than likely going to be a backup.
Yeah.
And you keep going for the old guy. You know, I personally, if I were Pittsburgh, I would have stuck with Justin Fields last year and seen what that would have gotten me because he was 4-2 as a starter.
Right, but they weren't that good. They were way better with Russ. The
Yeah.
offense was better.
There's no doubt that they did not have Justin Fields.
And they have a good
let loose.
defense still.
Yeah. Like, I like Justin Fields. When you go back to
Iron City beer, man.
You're going to go pound some irons with Aaron Rodgers and that, Yins. Yins are going to do that. I just love all the movement.
Did you really laugh like that with the Costco guys?
What happened? I don't know what happened. I didn't even know that was me. What happened?
Sound like a Muppet.
What happened? I think I was definitely coming off the flu, and I don't think my voice was 100% back yet.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were still foggy.
No, I was still foggy at that point because I kept the little guy, Big Justice. I kept forgetting his name. That was Big Justice.
That's the kid?
Yeah, that's the kid.
because he's the little one.
He's the little guy.
Big Justice is the kid?
Did Big Justice
What's the dad's name?
His name is AJ. Did
It should be the other way around.
Did Big Justice lay anybody out with a spear on Sunday at the AEW show?
He had a power bomb.
He did? No
Yeah,
way.
I swear. He had a
Big
power-
Justice
Yeah,
did?
he had a power bomb.
That little Big Justice?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to see this kid. The kid jumps into the ring. He's 12 years old. He's 200 pounds, this kid. He's like a beast already. And he's laying people out, throwing spears and body slams and whatever else. Seriously.
Grant in L.A. has made me out with laughter.
What do you have? What's Grant got
Because you
today?
were talking about how he was letting you talk earlier.
Yeah.
He says, Cappy is just like Luca. He said, he needs the ball. He needs that time of possession. He's been out of shape for years now. Turns the ball over from time to time. Complains on every play. And his previous employer doesn't trust him.
I'm looking for it. I want to see this
It's
myself.
at the top of the circle of trust. Oh, my God. That's so funny.
I don't see it. Oh man, I do see Grant in L.A. Let's be honest, Jay Moore is doing whatever Jeannie tells him to do.
Oh yeah, when we're
That's-
talking about where they
that's
live or
true.
the setup with the bathrooms and all that.
It sounds like a good setup, though.
Yeah. All right. Cappy, ESPN LA is proud to partner with Children's Hospital Los Angeles for their annual Make March Matter campaign. We're auctioning off exclusive items. All right, we've got some exclusive items. Sedano and Cap dinner right now at Fleming's. Full board, huge meal. It's $500 right now. The meal is going to cost more than that. So, and again, all these proceeds are going directly to Children's Hospital Los Angeles, CHLA. We're partnering with them. And there's another experience with me and Beto at a winery, $250, a wine tasting at San Antonio Winery for Beto and I. And then if you have a kid who wants to get into this business, there's a tour with me for like $160, okay? And obviously you got to bid on it. But I get to I
It's
will
up to
show
170.
Okay, I'll show you the TV studio, the radio studio. We'll chit chat with your kid for a little while. I think that's like the best move if you have like a college student or even a high school student who wants to get into this business. I think that's a good one. All you got to do to get on any of these experiences, because we've got experiences, you've got experiences, all the shows have experiences, the station has experiences. All you got to do is go to this website, 710-4CHLA. That's 710-FOR. CHLA. 710-FOR-CHLA. Go bid on this stuff, man.
Well, I want you guys
it's a
to
tax
bid.
write-off, too.
I want you to bid on this one. You and me, we're going to go to an L.A. versus San Diego game. I suppose that means we can't really say the names of the two teams. That's just a guess.
Right.
L.A. versus SD. You and me show up, and we'll pound on dogs.
Yeah.
And we'll have nachos out of a ball cap.
Am I going to this or
you
no?
You can go. We
Oh,
would love
okay.
to have you. I'll
Okay.
tell you, though, there's the dinner with you and me down at Fleming's. Because I was down there the other day. I saw Richard, the owner. He's a great guy.
That one's going for as much as almost anything.
Yeah,
really,
but-
the only thing beating us is John Ireland, going golfing with John Ireland and James Worthy.
Which I like that one very much.
yeah.
But I'll tell you the one that's the best one.
Yeah.
If you really want to know the truth.
Yeah.
The best
Well, the best one is the I think, is broadcast live from your house or business.
100%. That's
It's
the best one.
$3,300 right now.
$3,300. If you have a business and we come to your business and we broadcast there all day and you spend $5 or $7 or $8 grand, whatever it is, and it's a tax write-off to Children's Hospital of LA, brother, let me tell you something right now. Brother, let me tell you something. All day infomercial for your business. You can't buy that for whatever cost
Oh my God,
it
it's
is.
so cheap.
So right now, $3,300.
You should just do it for
ridiculous.
Sided.
It's not a bad call. It's not a bad idea.
There you go.
Yeah, actually, it's not a bad idea. I make all you guys drive to my house and make everybody broadcast
Talk about
from my
Sided all
house.
day.
Right, exactly. I love that idea.
All right, so go to bid on any of this stuff. Bid on the stuff with me and Cappy. 710-FOR-CHLA, 710-4CHLA, 710-FOR-CHLA.com. All right, Cappy, real quick. We've got Big Deal or No Deal. We've ruined the clock. I mean,
It's
we
all
haven't
right.
really followed the clock at all
Three
today.
straight hours.
Yeah.
We've gone commercial-free, 30 minutes.
Bergman actually came in and laughed. He thought
3
it was
o'clock,
funny.
4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. We've gone 30 minutes commercial-free at the top of each hour.
Yeah, and you and I, we just went deep football there.
Oh, yeah. Football.
I mean, deep. All right, tell us about Real Father's Rights, though.
Oh, really? It's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Real Father's Rights. Listen, if you are a dad out there and you are not connected to your child for a variety of reasons, and here's one of the main reasons, because a lot of times when you get caught up in divorce and child custody and issues like this, the legal system very often and very unfairly favors the mother in custody disputes. And now all of a sudden you're the dad and you don't have access to your kid and you can't see your kid. And by the way, it's not just painful for you, but your kid needs you in his or her life. That's where Real Father's Rights comes in to help. We help fathers fight for their rights. Real Father's Rights, fighting for dads and scoring for kids. If you are a dad and you are feeling sidelined in your child's life, let me tell you something right now. I can't think of anything worse than not being able to have access to my kids whenever I want that. I want to be able to talk to them. I want to be able to see them. I want to be able to go out to dinner with them. I want to go watch their games. If you're that dad who's feeling sidelined in your child's life right now, we are going to help you get the justice you deserve. Real Father's Rights, helping dads navigate family court, child custody, child support, divorce, domestic violence, restraining orders. It all sucks, but we're here to help. We can help you in LA, Orange County, the Inland Empire, San Diego, and here's how you reach us. 833-ESPN-710, 833-ESPN-710. That is a dedicated line just for our listeners. And here's our website, RFR, like Real Father's Rights, RFR710.com.
The biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland on 710.
And I've also got a Mason and Ireland bobblehead.
I think I have one left.
I have one left.
I think that would actually go.
They have some on eBay.
I'm going to look on eBay and see if there's one still there. I don't think it's worth as much as you guys think it's worth.
I think
But
if we
you sign it.
Oh, sign. Yeah,
maybe.
now you're talking. Other than that, I can't think of anything that you know what, I would sell my Shohei Ohtani bobblehead, the one with decoy.
Oh, there we
I
go.
think that would go for a lot. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with Shohei, but I think I can get some money for that.
There's one for sale for $100.
$100?
That's more than I thought.
Y'all's
Yeah.
bobblehead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate our bobblehead.
It's
It's
a
got like
weird
half
one.
of me
It's
and
a
half
weird
of
one.
John, and
And
neither
then-
side looks like us.
Yeah,
and it makes me look really fat. I don't
well,
know.
it makes both of us look
Yeah,
fat.
it makes us both look fat.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, you feel it? Days are getting longer, sun is getting warmer. Looks like our SoCal summer is right around the corner. Here in California, we are all about choosing chill. From hitting the beach to the best hiking trails to going all out to support our teams. One thing really all ties it together, and that's enjoying it all with good friends and a cold Coors Light. Pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
ESPN LA and BBGO are going on a quest for the Lakers GOAT. No. Not the GOAT. The GOAT. The greatest Lakers fan of all time. Think it's you? Upload your pic or video to Facebook, Instagram, X, or TikTok, and tell us your favorite Lakers memory. Use hashtag LakersGoat, GFOAT, and hashtag promotion, and follow at ESPN Los Angeles. The Lakers GOAT is going to be rewarded with courtside seats, a VIP private tour of the Lakers UCLA Health Training Center, a year's supply of BBGO, and more. The Lakers GOAT. Is it you?
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures. Until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is Sedano and Cap on 710.
I'm a cocky son of a like, there's no question about that.
Sedano and Cap continues right now.
All right, big deal or no deal. Take it away, Lidge.
Thanks, Sedano. Let me hear that Cap laugh again. That's classic.
Yeah, it's a great laugh. It's a good laugh, Cappy.
I have no idea what we must have been talking about at that point.
I mean, there was a lot of laughing. It was fun.
Whatever happened with that off-air interview that we did?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, because, let me tell you something. A lot of people were on me on social media like, what? A picture of you guys with the 5 big boom Costco guys? I'll never listen to you guys again. This is a new low point, Cap. So they're complaining
Really?
to me. They're complaining to me, right? In the meantime, instead of me even responding on Twitter, You know that what happened, George? You weren't here, but Mason was hosting the show, and he had O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Right.
And he had, was Ramona co-hosting that day, I believe?
No, it was Brian Kamenetsky.
Oh, excuse me. It was Brian Kamenetsky. They look alike. And so, dude, when O'Shea saw AJ and Big Justice, they were, come on in here. So those guys jumped on the air live with Mace.
Right.
And I didn't rat Mace out and go, what do you mean you'll never listen to us again? Mason's the one who had him on the air.
Oh, that's so funny.
I didn't see it on YouTube. I'll have to go back and watch it. I love Big Justice. I'm a big Justice fan.
Take it away, Linz.
All right, guys. So the New York Yankees, they found out that Garrett Cole, their ace pitcher,
dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, he's gonna have to have Tommy John surgery. Now, this was after they found out that they might be without Giancarlo Stanton for the season because he's got lingering knee injuries that may require surgery.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they lost Juan Soto in free agency.
Yeah. Well, that happens. They talk all the smack about the Dodgers, right? Like,
That's right.
I feel like it's a little bad juju, you know?
What's the smack?
Well, they kept saying that the Dodgers are being classless or whatever.
Yeah, they doubled and tripled down on it too. Garrett Cole's one of the guys too who said it. He was just like, "Oh yeah, I think it was pretty classless of them."
Well, I'm not wishing injury. I'm just saying like that. I just don't like putting the negativity in the air.
Well,
like, look, you lost. It is what it is. You put that negativity in, like, weird karmic things happen.
Yeah, let the Dodgers brag.
You want to know? You want an example of that? See the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at what they did to Luka.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's a bunch of guys getting dinged up. Like, that's terrible. You know, and I feel terrible for Garrett Cole. And
Do you think that they're toast now?
What's that?
Do you think they're toast already?
I mean, they could probably make it. If they stay afloat, they can make a deal at the deadline. They're the Yankees. You know what I mean?
But it's still their number one guy.
I mean, he's arguably the best pitcher in the American League. Like,
and he's also, a lot of money. So now you got a ton of money spent on a guy that's...
And they're not their father. Those guys, those two.
Right.
Yeah. So they watch their pennies per se. Yeah.
All right. So next one.
I guess it's a big deal.
Do you guys see that Southwest has done the unthinkable?
I saw the charging for bags.
Yep. Southwest Airlines announced today that they're going to begin charging customers a fee to check their bags. Of course, they built years of advertising campaigns around its policy of letting people check up to 2 bags for free. Like, bags fly free. That was their tagline.
Yeah.
And so now, unless you have reached the upper tier of its Rapid Rewards loyalty program,
right,
or if you've bought a business class ticket,
right,
or if you have their credit card, you're going to have to pay to check your bags.
Yeah, I have their credit card, but I don't use them that often.
I do too. I have their credit card. Yeah.
Well,
It's mostly my wife who likes to fly them when she goes to Vegas or something, or visit her family in the Bay or whatever.
The only reason I ever really booked Southwest, honestly, was because of looking at prices and factoring that in, you get 2 bags for free. So will this deter you guys from booking flights with Southwest or no?
I mean, I rarely check a bag anyway.
So for me, the answer is yes, because I do fly Southwest. Southwest has a direct flight from L.A. and from San Diego to New Orleans, so that is something that I've used. And I use Southwest when I go to Vegas. It's just my natural default to just think Southwest to Phoenix, Vegas, whatever. And so checking bags on Southwest, even my daughter flies from Boise to L.A. on a Southwest, and the no paying for bags is a big thing. Isn't Southwest also going from the number system on the seats to actually assigned seating? Isn't that something that they're also doing?
They're changing everything that I guess
they are going to go to the traditional seating. Yes.
Yeah, everything that made that they kind of made.
Well, but the traditional seating, get with the times. That made sense. The bags thing, that's pretty interesting.
I will just say this: the answer to your question, yes, this will make an impact when making a decision to fly to Vegas, to Phoenix. If I could fly a different flight to New Orleans, etc.
You checking a bag to Vegas?
I did this past time I went to Vegas, but I was also there for 4 days,
right?
Which is a little too long, frankly.
Yeah.
My
2-3
rule,
max.
2-day rule, and shouldn't have to check a bag.
Yeah.
And I hate checking bags.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I kind of like not having to lug around the your little carry-on throughout the airport.
By the way, Big E says he hopes the sex shop is winning the bid with quote broadcast from my business.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be incredible.
I wonder if there's stipulations on that.
I don't know.
I hope not.
Anyway, one more, Linz. Go ahead.
All right, guys. So getting back to baseball here. It was Dave Roberts, which congrats to him on getting his extension. We were talking about it for the past couple weeks, and he is now the highest paid manager in Major League Baseball
There you
per
go.
year.
Congrats to old Doc.
When did that news break?
This morning.
Okay, good news for Dave Roberts because we were talking about Craig Counsell, $8 million a year for the Cubs.
Right. So now he's making more than Craig.
And Dave Roberts deserves to make more. And I know that internally there's that argument of, well, we can get a lot of people to make $2.5 million to kind of sit here and put on the uniform and kind of watch the best players in baseball do their thing. Nonsense. Dave Roberts and the way he's got that Phil Jackson management style. So good. He deserves it. Keep going. Excuse me.
That's okay. So Dave Roberts said earlier today that Tony Gonsolin suffered an injury in camp while he was working out. I guess it was like a back injury while he was lifting weights. And so now the number 5 starter position has gone to Dustin May.
Oh, wow.
So I think that he was probably the least likely guy that we expected to see in the starting rotation, like when spring training started. So is Dustin May breaking camp as the Dodgers' number 5 starter a big deal or no deal?
I don't know. I would say, I guess big deal because he almost died, like eating a salad. So I guess that part of it
He
is
came back from the dead.
Well, I mean,
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't actually die though.
Well, he was close.
Not like DeMar Hamlin or Chris Morales. You know what I mean?
He was close.
A little different.
Morales was closer to death, I think.
Way closer.
Yeah.
It's walking like 5 miles, that kid.
I know. I love it. Hey, look, here's the thing. You got Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Sasaki.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And now May. Okay, so May's your 5th because Gonsolin's out, right?
Right.
But keep in mind.
You still got Kershaw.
Kershaw.
Ohtani.
Oh, there's this guy named Ohtani.
Right.
That if he decides
It
he
looks
wants
like
to
it's
pitch,
not going to happen with Ohtani, though. It seems less and less likely that he's going to pitch this year. That's what I've gathered from the stuff I've read.
They're in no rush to
They
get
shouldn't
him
be.
in there, which
No.
again they have more than 5 starters as it is.
Right. So here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we just outlined Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Sasaki, and May. Those are your 5. Then you got Kershaw.
Wait, we're missing someone, aren't we? Missing someone.
You said Gonsolin?
Well, Gonsolin's out. So I'm taking him
Start
out.
over. Start over.
Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Sasaki, May, Kershaw. I'll put in Gonsolin, even though I'm putting him down further, and Ohtani. I mean, you've got 9 guys. So
and then they got the young kids like last year that started, like the Bobby Millers and those guys.
Is it Gavin Stone?
Gavin Stone.
But he's hurt already.
No, but I'm just saying, those guys could be available during the season,
right.
though.
So that's my point is that you have 8 or 9 guys that are legitimate starters, and when number 5 gets hurt, number 6 moves up, and then when number 4 gets hurt, then number 7's going to move up. I mean, they're just so deep in starting pitching. And I'm telling you, Clayton Kershaw may not pitch until the second half of the season.
Good for Dustin May, having not pitched since 2023.
Yeah, I mean, he's come back. I want to say it's 2 Tommy Johns, and then the lettuce esophagus injury.
Yeah.
Which I guess is now funny, but it wasn't when at the time.
Definitely not funny, for sure. All right, that's big deal or no deal, Cappy. All right, Dealer's Choice is up next. Speaking of which, tell us about your friends at Seller's Advantage.
I would love to, and I want to say something about what's going to happen here today in Big Deal or No Deal. No, not Big Deal or No Deal. In Dealer's Choice. I've done something that I never thought I'd do. I finally had the guts to do it, and I did it. Now, let's talk about selling your home. Let's call Seller's Advantage. Look, I've mentioned it a million times. People have different reasons for wanting to sell. One thing that you might consider right now, if selling is a possibility for you, look, because of the wildfires, there are so many people that are either, saying, hey, I'm not going to rebuild in the Palisades, or I'm going to move down to Orange County, or I'm going to move to San Diego. People need housing in LA. So if ever there was a time where you could get top dollar for your house by at the same time you could be helping another family, consider that now might be a great time for you to sell. So whatever your reason is for selling, Seller's Advantage, they've got a solution for you, because here's what they do. They come to your house, they look around, they say, okay, based on every other home that's been sold in this neighborhood, here's a competitive cash offer. And when they say a competitive cash offer, they mean we're ready to do a deal today. Let's agree on this thing. Let's get into escrow. Let's hustle this deal up. They'll even give you money to move. I mean, they'll really incentivize you by giving you $10,000 for moving costs. So you don't have to worry about a complicated closing process. You don't have to worry about a contract falling through. They pay cash money, and they're ready to buy immediately. Call them today for a no-obligation offer. It's an as-is sale. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747. For more information, visit them online at sellersadvantage.com.
Sunday in Las Vegas, it was an offensive onslaught for the LA Kings. 6 goals at T-Mobile Arena, and they hung on to beat the Golden Knights by a final score of 6-5.
And a scrum for it, off the draw, pulled back behind the goal line. Kings fighting for it, centering pass, up top, a shot deflects toward the goal, poke free, 1 second left, Kings win!
Tonight, the Kings return home to begin a 3-game homestand, taking the ice tonight against the New York Islanders. Don't miss a second of the action. Listen live at 7:30 Pacific on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Visit San Antonio Winery to experience wine country in the heart of LA. We'll show you and your loved ones a good time. Share a meal inside our dining room or out on the beautiful patio as live music plays in the background. Sip and shop a range of delicious, award-winning wines and take a complimentary tour of our historic winery. San Antonio Winery, over 100 years of tradition, just 2 miles from Dodger Stadium. We hope to see you soon.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforminglAX. That's flylax.com/transforminglAX.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Final segment of the show. Lakers talk with Andy Kamenetsky is coming up next. Want to thank our guest today, Miguel Rojas of the Dodgers.
He was great.
Yeah, he was great. He came on during Supercross Talk. Want to thank Brian Windhorst for stopping through. And, of course, Dr. Robert Klapper. How are you, Jack?
A little early. You could have gone a little longer.
I could have, but, I'm
could have
rusty.
Squeezed another 3 seconds out of that.
I'm rusty.
That's all right.
Thank you, Dr. Klapper. We could have put that in. That would have gotten us right there. All right, Cappy, your dealer's choice, because we only have like 3 minutes.
Yeah, how long have I got, DeAndre?
I'll give you the time right now. Give me 1 second.
Let me know.
Just go. We got like 3.
Dealer's Choice Real Deal brought to you by Seller's Advantage. Hey, if you want to sell your house before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. You know the number, 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer, or visit sellersadvantage.com. All right, here goes. Last week we had a conversation. I was explaining to you guys that the television in my home office stopped working.
Oh, right. Yeah. You didn't know if it was the plug or
So
whatever.
I finally had the courage to be man enough to pull the TV off the wall. So I pull the TV off the wall, I unplug it, I plug in a new plug. I mean, I'm doing every test that I can possibly think of to figure out, is there something going on here, or is the TV actually blown up? And George, the bad news is I believe the TV has blown up.
Okay.
Now, the good news is...
You can buy a TCL, dude. Those things are cheap.
Well, I'm going to have to buy something, but here's the good news.
Yes.
The good news is, by the TV blowing up, I finally had the freaking balls to cancel cable television.
Because you're going to buy a smart TV.
Because the only TV in the house that was using cable was this one TV. Now, I don't know about you guys. You know what I'm going to tell you what my cable bill was every month. Now,
Like
this is
$200.
This is high-speed internet and cable TV.
$200.
And they get you at the beginning of cable because, like, when you first get cable, you're like, oh, I need HBO and I need this.
Right,
and I
but
need
you're
that.
you're not in that room enough to watch any of that
I
stuff.
don't need any of that crap, right?
Yeah.
My cable bill, $362.
That's a lot. I don't know. I don't know anybody.
Dude,
that
I have
much.
I have all the cable, like the sports packages and all that stuff, and I don't think my bill's that much.
But it's a combination of it's a bundle between the high speed internet
No, I
and
get
the cable
it, but
TV.
that still sounds crazy.
It
bro.
is crazy. So I call the cable company and I'm like, listen, I still need the high speed internet, but I don't need the cable TV.
So they charge you like $80 for the internet.
$200.
$200? What kind of internet you have?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
How
I
many
mean,
gigs?
Lots. A couple. A handful? A few? Many? I don't know.
You got like a terabyte?
I don't know. Like, everybody give me some feedback on this, because the thing is like, if I were to leave
let
the
me
cable...
just email me your
But
thing.
if I left the high-speed internet on Cox Cable...
200 sounds a lot.
What would I do?
Like, are you running like a server?
Yeah,
You shouldn't be paying more than $200, like for everything.
All I know is this: I lost the cable TV,
Right.
which is like $110.
Who do you use?
Cox.
All right, can you log into your thing?
Maybe.
Yeah, right. Absolutely not.
You
is
can
my
start
guess.
saving your password, automatic password.
I don't know, bro.
What do you-
All I know
do you
is
have the
this.
bill?
All I know is this.
Do you get the bill, like a physical
Yeah,
bill?
I use YouTube TV.
Oh, Jesus.
I use Roku. I use Apple TV.
Cappy, 200
and-
is a lot for internet, bro.
It is?
Yes. Yeah. So, all right, we're done here.
God, I thought I was doing great, man. I
Yeah.
was eliminating $100+ and
Yeah, we're done here. You can still
Cutting the
eliminate some
cord,
more.
feeling
All right,
cool,
thank
you know?
you to Miguel Rojas. Thank you to Brian Windhorst. Thank you to Dr. Clapper. Thank you to The Circle. Thank you to the boys in the back. Great job, Lindsay, DeAndre. Funchy, what up, bro? Cappy, excellent work as always. Let's work on your internet bill.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you mañana.
ESPN LA and BBGO are going